to be there by 8.
Bacchus Marsh and Sunbury. Imagine adding another 45 minutes onto your trip.
Well, then you got the conversation. Obviously, Gisborne have nominated again to come into the Ballarat Free League. That could help that could help that travel issue massively. With the concept of obviously a lot of their geographical location with Sunbury, their rivalry with Sunbury. They obviously they play a game in pre-season. They talk about it as intense as any league game that they would get week to week. That will help with the membership base in that region, no doubt. I think with the less travels, particularly for Gisborne as well, with their closest side they play is like 75 kilometres away in that competition. But I don't think it fixes the problem though of the participation issue in that region.
No, I agree. And
it's a band-aid. That's all.
That region is a little unique in the sense there is a lot of second-generation Australians around that neck of the woods, as opposed to Ballarat, which is multicultural but has, I suppose, a more Caucasian population, people who've grown up playing Aussie rules. So I think that needs to be factored in. I don't know if there's a solution, but
I think the Riddell League's the major issue down there, isn't it? That they're just taking all the players. If you're not playing reserve, if you don't want to play reserves for Darley or someone there, you go and get paid and play in the Riddell League close by.
It's no different to what's happened in the Central Islands with Ballarat for years.
That's true.
That they would be looking at. If you're a bottom 6 player in the ones or a top player in the twos, you're getting a tap on the shoulder and say, you're paying to be here, well, we're going to pay you. So you're paying to be there, we're going to pay you to be here. That's the conversation piece. And we are in an economic global financial crisis. The reality is people don't have the disposable income they once did, paying to play with fees and all that kind of stuff. When fuel, travel. We spoke about it last week with Melton, the netball program, and how they were struggling to get players to come down the highway opposed to losing Melton South, but at least had an extra game up the highway. Yes, again, that's a band-aid solution. I'll fix some initial things, say with Gisborne coming in with travel, but it doesn't fix the major issue, which is about numbers in population. And I think you've seen a downward trend in community sport in general. But many, with participation, not many clubs are actually boasting improved participation in the last 5 to 6 years.
No, and
Darley would probably be the exception.
In the football sense.
There's more options. Personally, I think where we will get to is that it will be called a development league, but I don't think it'll have the under 23 and cap, because I just think that's too hard to.
So what do you do if you're Lockie George, for instance, or a Brett Buell, and you're coming back from a 6 or 8 week injury? Do you just go straight back in the senior team?
No, I think you'll have a combined under 18s and reserves called the development league, and I think it'll have kids or people in the age range of, well, really there won't be a set. I think it'll be like 17 through to 40 odd. Now, the worry is you go, well, at the moment in the BFL, under 16s would be the league on the Sunday. And then after under 16s, you would then have to go into this development league. So you would say, hang on, Macca, so you're putting a 17-year-old kid up against Brett Bewley coming back, but it's someone of his calibre. So I would then say that there would eventually be a change to the BFL age group, and they'd go from under 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s. They'd put that up 1 year, up to 11s, 13s, 15s, 17s, or back to that. And so then basically in your year 12 year, you would play in that development league or scene.
I think the other thing is that maybe is exemptions for junior players to go down. It would be a bit more heavy to help with junior participation and have that ricochet effect through clubs. Because clubs, we use a club like Sebastopol, who are boasting good numbers in 18s, reserves and seniors. That's obviously they're going to try to squeeze 22 players a week out of a squad of 45. That's not going to work. So they have to have an ability to shift guys back down, or allow permits to go to other clubs and play games and still, at least at the end, ultimately keep playing footy, because we don't want to lose them to the game at all.
But it can be done. It can be done, and I don't like to boast about your old club, Rokewood. Look at Rokewood. What would the population of Rokewood be today? 100?
Yeah, that's right.
200?
Probably less.
You look at their sides every week, their reserve side, there's 4 or 5 or 6 guys missing out on a game in their reserves. They've got healthy juniors, so their junior teams not only are just fielding teams, but they're winning junior competitions. And you go, well, how can that be? I can tell you how it is, and I'm not even a member of that club. You have been, Macca. They have got such a strong culture. So
it took a long time to build that up.
It did, and I think it's harder to maintain and build up sometimes too. But that's what it comes back to for me. If you've got a good culture and you've got a place where people want to come, so people want to drive 40 minutes from Ballarat out to Rokewood 2 or 3 times a week just to be involved in it, and that's the secret.
Well, if you could bottle that of every footy club, then you have the most fruitful sporting environment in the world. And so we're just 3 guys here just at the beautiful Marty Bush Reserve, come up with concepts and ideas and try and hopefully talk some sense in some people who are thinking about playing footy. No, play footy. Footy's a great game. and it can't be heard anywhere better here on 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Here, we're going to take a break at the Marty Bush Reserve, thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2 Gyms. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Rock hits. Pop hits. Nothing but classic hits.
They play all the songs I know.
Better music and more of it. Ballarat's 3BA.
Blink and you'll miss it. The Snooze Flash sale is on now. Save up to 60% off selected mattresses and up to 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end Monday. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
Amazing what a little Snoop can do.
Let Zambrero cater for your crew. Feeding your staff, hosting a family lunch, catering a fiesta with 200 of your closest relatives, Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in-restaurant or ask about delivery. With vegetarian, vegan and gluten-free options, everyone can get their feel-good Mex fix. Find out more at zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel-good Mex.
I just rolled the side-by-side. I was strapped in tight. The helmet took the brunt of it.
What? Oh, well, thank goodness you're okay.
Following vehicle safety procedures helps protect your family.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Safety. It does more than keep you safe. Search WorkSafe Safer Farms.
Tonight is Tats Lotto's $10 million special event. Don't miss out on your chance to win a share. Hurry, grab an entry now. Wouldn't it be nice?
Gamble responsibly. Gamblers Help 1-800-858-858.
Get your build on a roll with Metrol Ballarat, because Metrol Ballarat is rolling forward with a brand new fleet, servicing a wider area with faster turnarounds. Inside the shed is a new flashings folder and Ballarat's only automated slitter, state-of-the-art and built for accuracy. Metrol is first in fencing and Blue Scope Colorbond steel roofing and rainwater products. Proudly local and with better service, better advice, better building solutions. Talk to Metrol Ballarat, 20 Wiltshire Lane, Delacombe.
The Ballarat and District Trotting Club is the perfect venue to spend time with family and friends. Enjoy great food while the kids play in the indoor kids play area, featuring interactive games and rock climbing wall. The Flying Horse entertainment venue is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. And don't forget, if you have an upcoming event, their function rooms are available. Bookings via ballarattrottingclub.com.au. The Ballarat and District Trotting Club. It's more than racing.
At Choices Flooring, we know choosing the right floor or window furnishings can be overwhelming. That's why for over 60 years, we've been more than just a retailer. We're your partner in making the right choice. From stunning carpets and sleek timber to stylish blinds and shutters, we combine personalised service with state-of-the-art technology to bring your vision to life. See your local showroom or visit choicesflooring.com. Choices Flooring, helping you make the right choice.
Choices Flooring, 8 Humphrey Street South, Bakery Hill.
Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action, thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
Welcome back to 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. Sam Young, Roger LeGrand bringing all the action live here from the beautiful Marty Bush Reserve as it's Sebastopol hosting the Darley Football Club in round 6 action. Joining us in the box, thanks to One Life Insurance, we are man Brad McGowan for this one. As it's two sides, 4-1 to start season 2026, and looking forward to seeing it all plays out.
Yeah, I'm quite excited by this one. As we said, Sebast started off the season really, really well. Had a bit of a dip in form last week, although we have heard, look, realistically, they won most categories, just weren't good enough in front of goal. So Sebast, a much improved, attacking, fun side to watch, who've been winning games by 100 points. Come up against a real test in Darley. And Darley, well, we know they're the benchmark of the competition, although they did drop one to Melton too, and their depth has been challenged at times. So we're just looking forward to seeing what happens today.
Be remiss if we're talking about the Darley Football Club not to talk about my man, Brett Bewley. He is heading on fire in season 2026, Brad McGowan, averaging, I think, 44 touches a game. I mean,
yes,
he has been a marvel.
Yes, that's right. people might have seen some of the stats throughout the week. Brett Bewley is the leading possession getter in country footy at the moment. Well, that's of the leagues that Premier Data do. So he's averaging 44 disposals, 11 clearances, 2 goals and 2 goal assists. And then that adds up to a total of 200 ranking points. And if people wonder at home what are ranking points, well, it's basically a mixture of all of the different stats joined together. But if you have a really good game, you might get 100 ranking points. There's probably between say 7 and 10 players on the ground per game that would get 100 ranking points. To get 200, that's massive, and Brett averages 200. So today I've come up with a bit of a concept that I'm calling Bewley Bingo.
Hello.
Bewley Bingo. So he averages 44. I reckon if Bewley gets 40 possessions, he averages 11 clearances, but I'm just going to say 10 and 2 goals. That's bingo. 40 possessions, 10 clearances, 2 goals. If Bewley gets bingo today, Sebas can't win.
Well, we've got our bingo call already on standby down ground. Well, maybe his 3BA debut. Tristan Ashmore joins us. Tristan, down boundary side.
Hello, boys. Down at the Sebas bench here. I'm keen for our Bewley Bingo, see how that goes as the game unfolds.
Our resident stats man's going to keep an eye on, and if we hear him scream bingo, we've got it. So he'll be doing.
He's going to be busy.
He's going to be a busy man. But yes.
I don't know what's going to be more annoying, Ian Siren or Tristan's bingo.
Chucking a couple of my lassos, and we'll be halfway there to a good song. Of course, it is Indigenous round in the Ballarat Footy League this week, celebrated this afternoon. Sebas in a very nice strip this afternoon, wearing that one.
Looks good, doesn't it? And terrific, that we're acknowledging that. I know it's a visual thing for those at home. You're probably wondering what it looks like. I'm sure Sebas have got something on their social media page in terms of photos.
Absolutely. Head over to all the socials, all the Facebooks and Instagrams and whatnot, and have a look.
Question of you, Youngie, given I know you've got some strong connections at Sebas, as you do a lot of clubs, but I noticed back today Liam Mason in the side. So big key forward. We saw him play in the reserves here a couple of weeks ago and said he's only going to play in the reserves for a couple of weeks, a guy of that talent. What's his story in terms? A very good cricketer. Can you tell our listeners at home a little bit about Liam Mason's background as a cricketer? And it seems like footy's a bit of a kind of part-time thing for him, but he's a very talented footballer at that.
Yeah, he's a good part-time.
Yeah, I was going to say, Macca probably has a bit of insight on me from his coaching days. But look, Liam's a fantastic footballer. Play either end of the ground, and great to see him back in the ones. That's the first thing that we said. From a cricket side of things, last year, one of the reasons why he didn't play was the focus on that. Just trying to take that to as high as he could.
Did he play in Melbourne?
He played in Melbourne. Yeah, it's taking his career to his highest level. A year off footy last year, it's a bit of a reset. Come back to just for a bit of a kick around from what I was told in the lead up to this, and now he's back in the ones where I think he belongs and where he can shine. And Brad McGowan, you've got more on him.
Well, yeah, key forward that fantastic target, lead up sort of mark, contested mark, then swings around at that left foot and kicks it to the advantage of his forwards. So yeah, very handy player to have in the side, and just like to understand one of the reasons why Sebas has looked so good this year. He's been playing in the reserves and would play in most senior sides. But the Sebas side in general have a lot of that reserve side had Nova, Raven, Jeffrey, McNabb, Holmes, Everett. They're players that have played a lot of senior footy.
50-plus senior games.
Yeah.
All of them, if not 100 for a couple.
Yeah, so that tells you one of the reasons why Sebas is going so well. And it sort of ties everything we've talked about earlier in the show together. They got those boys, the Geelong boys, or from St Joey's, because they came here. One of them came here, said, hey, the culture's pretty good. We wanted to get on board. So Sebas have clearly maintained a fantastic culture, and well done to Tony Lockyer, Shane Snipson and the committee, etc., that have been able to do that. So not only have they got depth, they've got top-end talent, they're well coached, they're organised, and that's allowed them to get to the point now where they're having a season that is really a breakout one, and they could compete at the top level.
And they have had they have had a better run with injury this year. I think our question mark on Sebas last year, they always had their cattle, but they seem to be having one of those years with injury last year. This year they seem to, touch wood, have more players in the park stand.
You've said it well. That's pretty exactly where I was going there, Roger the Grand. You look at your return the last couple of weeks, like Cassidy and Bailey Medwell. Yeah. Cassidy 36 disposals last week in the loss to Sunbury. Bailey Medwell just building in his match fitness. expect him to go inside today, and for the first time in season 2026, a bit more midfield time, and as he builds up his match fitness after really struggling through injury the last couple of years. So to get a guy of his calibre who's been on a VFL list back into your 22 week after week, I think that's an important win. Then you look at the flip side, you look at the Darley Devils, and we know about the big guns. We've obviously got Bingo Bewley, you've got Nick Hines, you've got Billy Myers coming back after having a week off last week to celebrate the arrival of his firstborn child. They're talented across the line. Matty Brett's one of the best defenders in the comp, if not the best. I mean, it's a really good battle on paper between some of the best top sixes in the competition.
Question of you, Brad McGowan, just in relation, you just mentioned Sam Young in terms of that really strong Darley defence. Could Sebas have gone in too tall in the forward line? So we mentioned Mason could play key forward.
Yeah.
Edwards. They've obviously got Cooper Littlehales, who'll spend time in the ruck as well. Obviously, it's a pretty tall. Minari. It's a pretty tall kind of forward line, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. It is. Mason can play below his knees reasonably well. You're right. They are tall. They're not necessarily immobile though. They're tall, but they're all players that are pretty mobile. Can get down low. Like Littlehales is tall, but he's athletic, can get to the ground level. I think they'll be okay with that. But it is something to keep a watch on. It's not raining. It's reasonably good conditions, so that should be okay. What my general thoughts are, this is the quality of footballers that are on the field today are pretty high. Like it looks like Brett Bewley and Felix Henderson might go head to head. Banbury, Hind, there is some seriously good footballers on this oval. If you're around, get down here and watch the talent we have on display.
Well, in the past, Tony Lockyer has done a job on Brett Bewley and actually took some great success, gone head-to-head with that one. It'll be interesting to see, like, one thing we know about Sebastopol and their oppo work is they do a lot of work on the opposition's best players. Bewley, is kind of the exception to the rule because he's just that much better than everyone else. No disrespect, and he'll probably still find heaps of footy, but it's finding someone that can negate his role. I think for the longest period of time, will it be Luke Keele? Will he start inside and keep a close eye on him? I don't know what they'll do in that space. It could just be, as you said, a head-to-head matchup with Henderson or Banbury straight to him.
So Brett has gone to Minari. I'm just looking at those matchup. Myers has gone to Edwards. That's kind of to be expected. Who's got Littlehales there, Brad? It looks like Lahure, is it?
Yeah, it looks like from this vantage point that is Lahure.
Yeah, so Lahure can play tall and small.
Just trying to see who's next to Bewley in the middle there. Because you're right, Keele's inside, but he's gone next to Baker.
Banbury. And then Joel Cameron also starting inside after a career high, 39 disposals last week. We are ready to go for the first quarter here at the Marty Bush Reserve. To kick things off, here's Roger LeGrand.
Thank you very much, Sam Young. Play underway. Neither ruckman touched the ball, and we're going to repeat. So anticlimactic for D2E gyms. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E, bringing you the action this afternoon. Hutt won the second go around, but Bingo Bewley was the one that sharked it and kicked it forward for Darley. Ball came in the direction of our pre-match interviewee, and Jack Buckley had a bit of a fumble. Cadman was able to go in for Darley and try and clean up. Big Toby Hutt came through in the end and gave a handball. So that's working backwards under pressure here. Lockyer goes across the ground safely and finds Cassidy.
Yeah, good squaring ball to find Cassidy at true centre half back. He looks to transition for the Sebastopol towards the outside to find Keel. Back to Lockyer as all the big guns get involved. Right foot kick to towards half. One on the leads. Forbes juggling mark. Yes! Third by the Cherry. Holds on to it right on the 50-metre arc. Sebas kicking towards the Velodrome and he'll wheel around to his right side. See the goals. Light the goals. And dump the first one home for the Borough.
What a kick!
Opening minute, and it's forward time.
Well, he's never seen a goal he hasn't thought he could kick Forber. He kicked that 65 metres.
Oh, he flushed it.
I think there might be a slight breeze going that way, but it was interesting. He marked the ball and he didn't look in a hurry to move it on. I thought, he should get this in and pass it. No, he said, I think I can kick this. But the build-up from Tony Lockyer again, like as we talk about, switched the play through the middle and then got on the end of it. He was so good. That set up the goal, and that's the Sebas style, all right? Most teams would have just banged that down the line. For the listeners at home, Tony had to do a full U-turn and change directions, put himself under pressure, lower his eyes and hit a dangerous target, was able to do it.
Beautifully called by Sam Young. I think, as you said, he knew what he was going to do the moment he marked that ball from 55 to 60 metres out, did Adam Forbes. Ruck hit out, goes down the direction of Henderson, but in the end, Darley, as they seem to do, pick up the ball through Bewley. His kick was smothered. Came back to Hommelhoff as Sebas goes inboard, looking for Edwards through his hands. Off the back was Fletcher. Brett gets back for Darley to clean up and gives it over to Densley. Densley comes inboard looking for Chase Jones. Back to Brett, and the ball will trickle out of bounds. Great forward pressure from Sebastian, that forward half, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, it was good pressure, and it's also interesting to see that even though Darley have got their hands on the ball at both centre bounces, they haven't necessarily been able to get a clearance, because I would expect Sebastopol are going to be on top in the rucks significantly today. So even when Darley do get it, they're going to be under pressure, and that has been evident so far.
Hutt v Cadman. Hutt with the knockdown. Hines unable to gather. Opportunity here for Henderson. When he gets that left side, he retreats back to Buckley. Tries to step the whoopie tackle, very close, tight roading the boundary line. He's seen out of bounds as we're going 2.5 minutes in the opening term on the Metro scoreboard. Sebastopol leading 1 goal straight, 6. Darley yet to enter their attacking half, really, in the early stages here. Toby Hutt in terrific form. Talk about ranking points. He's averaging 166 of them a week. Thank you very much in the Ruckin season 2026. Wins the tap. Medwell had a couple of important touches early. Couldn't quite gather on this occasion. Joel Cadman caught in the tackle. He's locked up. An important cog the barometer in Cadman, a bigger body in the midfield in season 2026 for them. After a bit of time in the VFL program with Werribee last year, he's really got that tank up, spent time on a wing, gone inside the last couple of weeks. He'll have an important role. It's back with the action, one down by Hutt, down to Banbury. A high ball will be a shallow entry inside 50. Edwards in front, couldn't take the mark at the highest point. Myers, a ground level, coughed it up rarely. Cooper Littlehouse coming through, rushing forward for Sebas. Chain of hand passes will work for Darley as they spread it back there towards White. The left foot kick will go right down the line. Lockyer and Tanner, as a party, kept it inside. His handball missed the target. Now Medwell stepped through traffic. Handball in towards Banbury. We go to Henderson off the Buckley. Slight fumble. Will Footcandy was superb. Back to Henderson towards his left side. Long kick towards the top of the square. Looking for a high fly maybe. Forbes will wait down. Getting back in desperate defence was as a party. And in the end, he's able to rush it through for a minor score. First blemish of the afternoon. It's 1-1-7. That's Sebastopol on the Metro scoreboard. Darley at the score.
Darley just can't get many clean possessions. Every time they get it, they are under pressure. Some Sebastopol are very good with their pressure. Not only are they good with the ball, they're good with their pressure, and it's working for them so far.
As you might have gathered, if you're listening to 3BA this afternoon, there's some intensity around the footy early, and Darley able to get a clean kick out of full back this time, and it's wandered up the ring and found Michael Edwards, who's pushed up the ground as the Darley swingman. Yeah, playing more a wing role today. Comes to know him as a kind of forward and occasionally resting ruck. He goes up the line in the direction of Tanner. Not able to take the mark. Ball spills out of play. Right in front of us here in the broadcast position. Good crowd in at Marty Bush. Expecting the locals to get quite vocal as the game goes on. But Sebastopol certainly started very well this afternoon.
Back on the way here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Cadman up against Hutt. Hutt with a big fist goes whack against 10 metres for Sebastopol. Only as far as Densley off to the speedster, and Hine turns on the afterburners to remember with one bounce. Sweeping ball, showed a bit of it towards his teammate in Matricardi. He finds Lockie George in goal kicking form. Right foot kick towards the top of the square, and getting back in defence, the captain, Ben Hutt, will see it through with a fist for a minor score. One behind that Darley's moving the Metro scoreboard. They trail Sebastopol 1-1-7 with Tony Lockyer to bring us back underway.
So the Sebastopol coach has been in good form of late as Tony Lockyer. Even in the loss last week, was one of their better players. He plays on from fullback, goes straight down the middle in the direction of Joel Edwards. Brett used his body well. Umpire said illegally it's going to be a push in the back free kick. Brett pretty disappointed with that, given looking at his body language, and Edwards will have his first touch of the afternoon. He's been in ripping form. Question marks over his fitness a little bit with injury. He comes out to Medwell, who hits Manari on the chest for Sebastopol, long way out from goal, probably 70 metres out, almost in front of his own bench. So slow play here. Sebastopol not keen to kick it back in the direction of Billy Myers unless they really have to. And in the end, Manari had to. He goes long towards fullback, and guess who? Billy Myers. He takes the mark and plays on quickly. Kicks across goal.
So Myers will go across by Matricardi. He'll take one bounce at the half-back line. Right foot kick will go down the line towards George at a 1-on-1 with Wilkinson. There's two tough customers going head-to-head. Fist sees it out of play, and welcome back to senior footy for Jacob Wilkinson as it's out of bounds.
You talk about a matchup. Nick Hine, the ex-AFL player for Darley, he's playing at half-forward flank, and he's playing on Jack Buckley for Sebastopol.
Well.
Buckley's letting Hine go round behind the ball, and Buckley was sitting spare. He's just going across to him now, but I think they're basically just going to go their own way.
They will not be anywhere near each other.
Yeah,
it is offense versus offense. It's cat and mouse sort of stuff across that half-back line for Sebastopol. As we're on true centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position. 7 minutes now gone in the opening term. The Borough, they lead by 6 points on the Metro scoreboard in the early stages here. Cadman against Hutt. Hutt again with the tap down. Ball ricochet between players there as Cassidy came through. So did Bewley in and under. His handball fired out towards the boundary line, and found a teammate who's be able to take the advantage, and they'll thump the forward will the Devils towards the half-forward line. Lockyer able to drop off his man and take the intercept mark on the half-back flank for the Borough.
Old teammates. Bit of collision there, Lockie George and Tony Lockyer, as Lockyer comes inboard and finds Buckley.
So he made him earn it then.
You definitely would say that. Buckley back to Lockyer. Umpire says not 15, and there's a bit of a fumble from Lockyer, which put pressure on Buckley. He gave it to Lockyer, back to Buckley. In the end, Cassidy comes in, met very high. Yeah, you heard the vex. That was Sam Young, and we know why. Very strong tackle on Cassidy there. Got him really high, and in the end, he's going to be the recipient of the free kick. He goes long to half forward, the direction of Hutt. Can't mark. Ball spills to ground. Comes back to Henderson for Sebastian. He was caught really high. The umpire said no, he didn't. He's going to call for a ball up. Henderson's looking at him saying, what in God's name, umpire?
He did slip as it happened. He went to go on his left, slipped, and it meant that the tackle did get him high. But Darley's pressure has lifted.
Back on the way here, Bewley with the hand pass is stolen by Henderson. Handball off towards Banbury. Little scrubby kick inside forward 50, almost found Fletcher. White, strong hips, did well. Got it back there towards Brett, and Darley looked to exit towards the broadcast side. The kick on the outside of the boot might still work out. Adventurous. Nice hand pass came there from Watkins as the Devils look to transition by hand. That's Hatcher coming through, playing a nice tackle. And his new accessory number 4.
Just trying to confuse us, Youngie. We had him down as 38, but very well, very good pickup. So
we're now on true centre wing broadcast side. Another stoppage. Hutt's been good with the hit-outs early. Cassidy strong, locking horns with Luther Baker. A couple of new nuts going head-to-head there, if you don't mind. Back on the way here, Cadman against Hutt. Points to Cadman. Opportunity for Baker. He wraps around that left side. High ball for Darley towards the half. Like Johnson from the back. Wilkinson well still at the front. Brought to ground. Lockyer with the crump off the Buckley. Scrubbing kicks a poor one. Markshire taken there by Luke Baker. Taking side centre wing.
Plays on quickly with a handball to Bewley on his left boot. Goes low and long. Lockyer gets back and affects the spoil. Came back to George, who snapped over his shoulder. Bouncing ball goes to the right-hand side through for a behind. Darley get a second behind for the afternoon. They're 2 points. Sebas 1-1-7. We've played around 10 minutes in the first quarter on the Metro scoreboard. Ball quickly back into play, Sam Young.
Banbury will go long towards the broadcast side centre wing. It's a fast game to start. Hutt couldn't mark. Waiting down was Edwards for Darley. He didn't gather. Little Hale's high up the ground. Right foot kick go towards a vacant half forward line. It bounces on its point and out of bounds it'll go. And it's one of those lasso free kicks. Ball in the hands of the Darley Devils at the half back line on the broadcast side.
So Darley with footy in hand. Slow and measured. In the end, forced to go long up the line. Bewley. Third man back in line, put his hands up and took a ripper. Both he and Lockyer put their hands on the head as if to say contact was made, but in the end, it was Bewley's mark. Beautiful, low, piercing pass to Cadman. He plays on quickly to Edwards, kicks long towards the goal square. George has run out, can't mark, ball spills to ground. Big Toby Hutt gets back, kicks over his shoulder. Kick doesn't go 15 metres. Medwell grabs the ball, gives it to Henderson. Henderson under pressure, goes back inboards to Cassidy. He will slow it down.
Cassidy, he'll take a mark inside defensive 50. His pass was good enough to get the Homer half, and he'll run past for the handball received for Sebastopol as they look to transition towards the outside. Nice pass to find its way to the captain and Ben Hutt. He handballs to his brother on the inside, and Toby. The ruckman will thump it towards the full forward position. Looking for Edwards, who was dealt with too easily with by the umpire. Says free kick. It's actually Minari, went to ground. And he'll get a line up directly in front. That tall forward line causing a little bit of panic maybe behind the footy there, Brad McGowan.
It was just a good long kick into a one-on-one, and the defender got a bit nervous. The wind is going that way. The ball carried that little bit further, and so the defender, just pushed him basically two hands in the middle of the back. Free kick given to Minari, and he really should kick this.
Sharpshooter. Kicked 100-plus in country footy multiple times at multiple clubs. At the Borough, directly in front from 40, keeps it low and thumps it into the post. Minor score.
Just whilst we're working through this, Tristan, have you got an update on Bewley Bingo? Because I think it might be a bit high. We're only 11 minutes in.
7 disposals and 8 possessions, boys.
So 7 total disposals, and we're 11 minutes in. Remember, he's only got to get 40 for bingo. He's certainly not being tagged. There's just different people on him starting at stoppages, but I think he's got a bit too much space at the moment, buddy.
Billy Myers with the kick-out duties for Darley. Kicks long over the defensive line. Ball came off the fist of Edwards and trickles out of play in front of the Darley bench here. We're 12 minutes into the first quarter, and the Metro scoreboard reads Sebastopol 1-2-8. Darley 2 behinds. The D2E gyms this afternoon. It's been an absolute ripping start to this contest. Ball comes back into play. Hutt one out. Baker sharked it for Darley. Feigned a handball and kicked long inside 50. Kick goes in the direction of Johnson. He's got one to beat. Wilkinson with him. Did he drag the ball in? Umpire's going to say no. I'll ball the ball up around 30 metres from the Darley goal, almost in front of the old Sebastopol scoreboard.
You love a guy like Sam Wilson behind the footy, Brad McGowan, just so coachable, one of those old school defenders, doesn't give you an inch.
Yeah, and you just know what you're going to get out of him. He's just going to play his role and make it hard for the opposition.
Welcome inclusion this week. George in the ruck took it out off the Johnson, the Mercurial one, outside the boot. Oh, I was going to say, don't tell me, it's just the wrong side of the boot. It might even just flick the woodwork.
It looked like it was a goal, didn't it?
Yeah, it's flicked the inside of the post. An extra coat of varnish cost him, and the Devils go to 3 behinds. They trail Sebastopol 1-2-8. So Buckley. Does he have the licence? Oh, he has the licence. And he goes barrel on the net right down the middle of Edwards. Licence acquired. Edwards wheels around, left foot kick from one end to the other. The Barra running inside 50. Fletcher slips over. Darley desperate to hang on here. It's still alive. Clever Dock in the direction by Banbury. 2 Fletcher for Sebas. As in the end, the Devils are able to clear. Matricardi, right foot kick towards the outside, bouncing ball as a party. We have to sit and wait. Edwards comes across with a ricochet tap off the Hummelhoff. Sweeping hand pass will go inside 50 for the Borough. Hutt left it for Edwards, back to Hutt. High ball towards the top of the square. Be a tough one to mark. Myers does mark everything though. Getting back there's Mickey Edwards and a nice little short ball. Not required 15. He'll get the 1-2 back. Then he just let it go. He had a little case of the fumbles and creates a problem inside of 50 now. Opportunity for Sebas. Medwell, right foot kick too tall for Hutt. Turnover. Gets through. Brett Bewley marks the back position.
He just finds himself in the right places all the time, does Brett Bewley. And this time he brings the ball out towards his coach's box. Johnson got met.
He was
tunnelled and no free kick from the umpire, and he's hurt, is Will Johnson. It knocked the absolute stuffing out of him. He's in the hands of the trainers, but in the end it's going to be a mark for Sebastopol. How is that not a free kick, Brad?
Yeah, certainly. His legs were taken out from underneath him. He landed on his butt/back, and as you said, he's just winded. I don't think there'll be any necessarily long-term damage there, but
let's hope not.
He's struggling to breathe.
So breathes with his back. Toby Hutt from just outside 50, 45-degree angle to work with. Right for kicks on his way, gets good purchase, it looks good with the boot, I like it, so does Toby. He pops through the second of the afternoon. The Borough moved the 2-2-14 on the Metro scoreboard to Darley, the 3 behinds.
Yeah, Darley be disappointed with that. That was definitely a free kick, ended up being a shot on goal to Sebas. Just one thing I wanted to talk about was the clearances, particularly the 2 ruckmen. So I think Toby Hutt, the Sebas ruckman, probably has the ascendancy, but he's hitting the ball forward or towards his goal. The trouble is, Jaden Tanner, the Darley ruckman, is hitting the ball also in the same direction or backwards. And so Darley's players, particularly Baker and Bewley, are owning that spot on the defensive side of the stoppage. The ball keeps falling there and they keep getting it out.
Medwell won the clearance for Sebastopol, kicked it long into 50 on that left boot in the direction of Forbes. Couldn't mark. Myers spills out the back for Darley and beautifully clears out in the wing. Looking for a teammate out there in Steegstra. Overrun the footy, and Medwell, who's been very prominently, picks up, handballs back to Lockyer, back to Medwell, comes inboard looking for Buckley. He's clever enough to get around one and kick long towards half forward. Hutt finds himself clear. Probably should have taken that mark in the end, was probably a bit long, but he got great support from Fletcher, tapped it back towards Hutt. The ball just won't bounce for him. In the end, Darley able to, with a weight of numbers through Baker and young Watkins able to clean up. Was Watkins pushed in the back? The umpire said no. Henderson threw that to Medwell. Came back out to Cassidy. Long handball over to teammate in Banbury, who came inboard from the boundary line. Beautiful kick, and Toby Hutt has been everywhere, and he's going to have a shot from nearly the same spot as that last kick at goal.
Yeah, Darley look a little rattled here. What I would say is that Darley are owning the inner ring of a stoppage. They're winning the ball. They're winning first possession. But then they're under so much pressure after that the ball spills free. And Sebas are just everywhere on the outside. They find space. And going inside 50, they constantly have targets by themselves.
So Hutt pushing forward, stretching the defence for a carbon copy shot on goal. Like the first one, he likes the second one, and the Borough have 3 here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Sebastopol 3-2-20 on the Metro scoreboard. Darley, the 3 behinds, 2 goals to Toby Hutt early and also Adam Forbes.
Might just cross down to Tristan actually to get a sense of that wind. It looks perhaps a little bit stronger than we first anticipated up there. Tristan, what can you tell us from ground level?
Yeah, it is a big swell, boys. Just in other news though, Johnson has returned on the Darley bench and looks as if he's about to come back on.
Very much to our man T boundary side, and Toby Hart been very influential to start here, a couple of goals, and I thought he looked a bit gassed when he had that moment at half forward, Brad McGowan, and in the end I think he was resting forward and didn't have a direct opponent with the changeover, and that's why he had so much space inside forward 50, so maybe a little bit of luck for the Borough.
You are right, he's now out of the ruck and gone forward.
Tanner wins it down. Medwell's been super, starting inside this afternoon. He's kicking ricochet backwards towards Buckley for Sebastopol. Steps to an attack off the kill, off the Cassidy. Gee, that's classy. Right booking right down the idea towards full forward. Myers parks himself in front. Got the unkind bounce, but with class is able to split it wide for Darley to find Hatcher working up towards halfback. Right foot kick will go towards centre wing. Set a task for Azapati. Buckley forced the spoil. Did well. Got it towards the boundary line and shows he's there to defend. It might be off bootlaces. The boundary umpire has signalled to Lasso, and yes, it's going to say free kick to Sebastian to Hommelhoff.
So Hommelhoff is on the back line of the centre square for Sebastopol. Kicks short and finds Cassidy. He started well. Cassidy had an interrupted start to the year with injury, but been prominent today, as has Medwell, who's had a similar preparation. Kick was a pretty ordinary one in the end. It went on the bounce towards half forward. It's going to force a stoppage on the forward line of the centre square at Marty Bush Reserve. Sebastopol in. So for One Life Insurance, Brad, good signs for Sebastopol.
Yeah, they're certainly owning the outside. Once Darley get the ball, their pressure's fantastic, and Darley's just not manning up very well, so there's constantly players in space for Sebas.
So Littlehouse is doing the resting ruck for Sebas at the moment, and he trickles the ball out of bounds on that outer side of the ground here at Marty Bush Reserve.
Yeah, right, Littlehouse goes into the ruck. I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Myers follows suit shortly, I reckon, for the Devils. They need a bit of emphasis around the footy. Toby Hart resting forward, probably in line for the Sporting Club Player Day in the early stages. Hales wins it down, and the tap's going nowhere, so another ball up this result, Brad McGowan.
That was really interesting. Darley had a spare defender there, and Tony Lockyer was standing at half-back for his team, and he went, no, I'm going to run all the way down from the back line to the forward line to make sure they don't have a spare defender.
Create another headache as Little Hales wins it down. Keel just fisted it forward for the Borough inside 50. The speedster Hine will have to retreat and tries to dinky kick back to full-back, and he then sends it out on the full.
Wow.
Now, Tony Lockyer's role helped there because Hine didn't have anyone's free to kick to, so it meant that he had to try and create one where there wasn't necessarily one, and turned it over.
So he sends it out in the full. Adam Forbes gets a gift, tucked in the left forward pocket. He'll use a couple of steps, around the body, screw, punt. The guy by just tips the head back, and the Borough have 4.
Wow, Darley are a bit rattled here. Just their ball movement is not working. They can't, there've been very few times where they've had one mark, let alone 2 or 3 marks. They just can't maintain possession because A, there's good pressure on the ball carrier, and B, Sebastopol manning up or covering off well. So when Darley get it, they just don't have many options to kick to.
Ask yourself this question, fellas. When was the last time you saw someone kick the ball backwards out on the full?
It's a rarity. That's not on Brad McGowan's bingo card, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I don't think that would be on anyone's. I can't think of a situation. And
well, particularly an ex-AFL player that's so talented.
For those listening, he actually went the opposite way quite strongly and kicked the ball out on the full. Resultant goal to the YouTube highlights reel of Adam Forbes. He has 2 for the afternoon. Playback under the way in the middle. Littlehouse still in the ruck. Hind Rose. This time kicks it in the right direction and finds Johnson.
Wow.
On the lead. He's looking to move the ball quickly. Just outside 50 for Darley. Handballs it back to Hind. Can he make up for that error? Kick goes off the side of the boot somewhat. Tanner tries to mark. Wilkinson got back on. Tried to claim the mark in the end. He's going to handball it through for a behind for Darley. Just their 4th behind of the afternoon. They haven't registered a goal yet on the Metro scoreboard. Sebas 4-2-26. Darley 4 behinds.
Good team defence by the veteran there, and Wilkinson has predicted the time on in the opening term. O'Shea trusted with the kicking duties with no Lockyer or Buckley present. Goes short into the pocket and finds Keel.
Bewley back on the ground, boys, after 5-6 minutes on the bench.
Thank you very much, T. As he'll play on now, Keel. Up a high ball towards centre wing. Going to ground was Edwards. Now, not much that Matty Brett could have not done. He just stood his ground.
He did. That's correct.
And, yeah, I mean, he's kind of high, but I don't know what Matty Brett can do. Like, what's
I think the ball's got to be within a certain distance to be able to do that. I understand that. What do you think, Brad?
Well, Edwards just got hit that little bit high and happened to be right in front of the umpire, so it was an easy call for him in the end.
Short ball off the Banbury, sidesteps superb, sends it towards the full forward position. Getting underneath it was Little Hales. Comes through his Mason, and he's got one over the shoulder. Soft but high was the free kick. It just dragged slightly over that outstretched arm, didn't it, Brad McGowan? And big spud with a shot directly in front.
Well, it was just an easy one to call. Everyone could see the arm, what did go over the shoulder. If you're an umpire, well, you've got to call that. Lee Mason should put through Sebast's fifth, and they look all over Darley right now.
13 goals. Back when he last played senior footy for Sebast in season 2024. Directly in front. And watch them come for everywhere for Spud. If he can split the middle from right directly in front. Left kicks on its way. It was always near side as he built it up.
No, if you hadn't have said that, he would have kicked it straight through the high diddle. It's that Sam Young Moz that's come to curse players.
I'm going to go home, boys. 4-3-27 on the Metro scoreboard. That's the Ballarat. Darley, the four behinds, and a fast start here at the Marty Bush Reserves. Thanks to our good friends at D2E Gyms. Welcome to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E.
Billy Myers for Darley, plays on out of full-back, and it's the same routine. He kicks out towards the coach's box side. Strong mark overhead from Toby Hutt. He has 2 goals to his name already this afternoon, and has been quite dominant in the ruck, as we heard from Brad McGowan before. He kicks the ball to that hot spot for Sebast. Long in there. Edwards came from a long way back, wasn't able to mark. Darley through Cadman. The free kick found on the ball. Well, it was very hot. The handball from Chase Jones went straight to Azapati, tackled straight away, and pinged for holding the ball. What were your thoughts for One Life Insurance, Brad McGowan?
Well, it's just the same method that's continued to work for Sebast. Put good pressure on, and Toby Hutt is dominating the game, by the way, with his tackling, with his marking.
So James McDonald, the recipient of the free kick from 15 metres out, directly in front. Sebast have 5. So 5-3-33. Sorry, Brad.
Yeah,
so
you
4
go.
behinds here at Marty Bush Reserve on the Metro scoreboard.
And it's just a carbon copy. Toby Hutt is dominating in the air. By the way, it's worth mentioning that Sebast at kick-ins, a lot of teams play a zone. They're not. They're just going man on man, and they're just beating their men. All right. And every time Sebast get the ball inside 50, Darley look a bit nervous. They look undersized. Billy Myers hasn't been able to mark the ball too often. I think they're doing a good job to make sure he doesn't intercept. And if it comes to ground, even if Darley win it, Sebast's forward pressure has just been so good.
Giddy up, goal to James McDonald. The Borough have 5 started here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Can Darley respond? They're being challenged at the midfield, which shows the talent of Sebast as they kick it off the deck towards half forward. Clever use there by Matricati down the line. Was too tall for his direct target. Getting back there's Lockyer for Sebast as he'll retreat to Buckley. He retreats by hands. They're going backwards to go forwards. This is going to be a dangerous kick from O'Shea. It's an awful one off the boot. A real floater. Straight to Watkins of Darley. He'll turn around, send it inside forward, 50 on the transition. Back with courage was Cabin, and he was collected front on. Advantage should be paid in goal to Steetra. Let's just hope Cadman's okay. The goal, the first one today, will go the way of Darley. They're 1-4-10 on the Metro scoreboard now. Goal to Steetra in right place, right time. Cadman back on the flight. If you can envision, I don't know if you go back a number of years, Tom Lonigan, when he was going back on the flight for the Cats that one day and caught one right in the kidney, that sort of had that sort of feel when he was really exposed on the inner ribs and got the full force of 2 knees right in the... Well, you don't want to run the guts.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He really did open himself up because he had to open himself up to the ball. And the Sebast defender coming the other way, really collected him. Was courage. That's the sort of thing that your teammates love you to do, but would have hurt.
Geez, the intensity at the footy from the Borough has been super impressive this afternoon. Both Darley forwards now spending some time in the hands of the trainers as Hine wins the clearance for Darley, kicks long towards Johnson, couldn't mark. Henderson at the feet, gave it to Hommelhoff. Tamble missed a target, Hine there for Darley. He stepped up his game in the last 5 minutes. Goes on the outside of his right boot, forward. Missed the target. As a party then hit high, Andrew, as a party. No free kick. No free kick. And Sebast are going to clear through Medwall.
They go top towards Henderson. Left foot kick over the top should find his target in Forbes. Little Hales has slipped his man. Can he get it to him quick enough? No. Looks to go inside instead. Aaron Forbes uses the stand rule. Now goes to Little Hales, who was by himself. Took a bit off the kick. Now crushing through. Umpire put the whistle away. No, he's found it now. As there's a bit of animosity since that, I guess, bump from Wilkinson on as a party. And the Devils have now got the full back to find Myers. We'll stick with the action for the moment now.
I'm thinking he might have been reported. I'm thinking Wilkinson's been reported here as play goes on.
Darley will go towards centre wing, but then why was there no free kick then, Roger?
I think the out-of-zone umpire might have reported him.
Crazy. Centre wing outside, virtually opposite broadcast position, as you can hear plenty through the effects mics between a bit of banter of the crowd but underneath us. Always strong, faithful. Short ball towards centre back towards Chaz Jones, and he dropped the mark, but good enough to get onto his left side and find the target. As the Devils will look to go over the fence. It's an awful kick off the instep. Only found the chest of Forbes right on the paint, and the way he flushed the first one, Brad McGowan, he might be in range, the Forber.
He is looking towards the
Wheels
goals.
around, right foot kick, hit it poorly. Still see advantage of Edwards at full forward. And in the end, I'll give him credit for passing.
Oh, that's 50.
It will be straight to the line. The Bronx Shears says it all. Sebastopol going to get their 6th from right at the full forward position. But Forbes goes quickly, did the smart thing, didn't go for goal, didn't go for glory, kicks to the advantage of the full forward in Little Hales. He marks, and he'll kick it from the goal line.
Wow, they look a dangerous side right now, Sebastopol.
So Little Hales puts it through. Sebastopol have 6 on the Metro score, 6-3-39. Darley's 1-4-10.
Sebastopol's key position players are winning at both ends of the ground. Their key forwards look too tall. They look all over the Darley defenders. And then at the other end, Darley have never really had dominant key forwards. We know they've got Johnson, but he's more of that smaller size sort of player. And Sebastopol aren't giving them much room. Plus, they're just so physical. And look, I do think the umpire's advisor will have a look at that sort of 2-minute passage of play there.
I don't like to speak ill of the umpires. I'm their biggest advocate, but there's a couple of free kicks there that I reckon Dan Jordan would be looking back on and thinking, why weren't those free kicks? Playback underway in the middle anyway. It won't change anything on the scoreboard. As a party shrugs one tackle back to Bewley onto Hine. He's got some space now and uses his pace to run forward, kicks in the direction and finds Johnson. Good play from the Darley Devils. Johnson plays on, kicks Tanner by himself. Poor manning up from the Sebastopol defence. They just let Tanner creep forward by himself, and he's marked just outside the goal square. He'll kick from about 12 metres out, almost directly in front. So good ball movement from Darley. The usual recipients, Hine and Bewley, onto Johnson, who's kicked it to Tanner, who will line up for goal. And Darley have their second, a much-needed goal for the Devils. They go to 2-4-16. Sebastopol 6-3-39. We've played 29 minutes on the Metro scoreboard.
I'll try and get an update from the benches from our man Tristan Ashmore as we keep an eye on Adam as a party as he was taken off by the hands of trainer following that incident a few minutes ago. Have you able to see anything that the trainer's still working on, Tris?
Trainers are still working on him, but it seemed the incident happened at an unperfectly perfect time. The trainers were already down there as there was another incident. They were able to quickly get him off the field. That swirl that Roger mentioned, though, it is crazy down here. Darley just not taking advantage of it. They like having control, and Sebastopol's pressure just doing wonders for them.
Borough off to a great start here, Brad McGowan. I mean, 6 goals in every time. I can't think of the last time the Darley conceded 6 and a quarter of footy.
No, they've only looked a little bit better once the ball has got in Nick Hine's hands. He's the only one that's really been able to run away with it. Bewley's getting his touches, but he's not necessarily been that effective. That last one, getting at Nick Hine, worked.
Back on the way, Hutt almost looked like he was going to take it out of the air, but went with the double knockdown towards Cassidy of Sebastopol. Up and under kick. A couple of hard bodies clash. Cadman just got it forward towards a teammate there in Adam as a party, off there towards Cassidy now for Sebastopol as he'll thump it towards half forward. Big fist over the top. Came from Myers. Out the back it goes. Lahouray's got to be good. Had a couple of nervy moments, but showed strength in the hips there to get towards Myers as the Devils go towards centre wing. Edwards fisted away there from O'Shea. Cadman weighing down. Left foot kick will send it out the full. Free kick will go the way of the Borough. I'll take inside centre wing on the broadcast side as we'll wait for the ball to come back from over the fence. Sebastopol trying to inflict some more pain here.
Cassidy takes the free kick for Sebastopol. Short to Medwell, onto Banbury. Banbury looking to move that ball quickly into the forward 50 for the Borough. That seems to have worked really well for them in this first quarter. In the end, he's called to play on. Kicks long towards that hot spot. Good mark overhead from young Tanner. Getting it at both ends of the ground. Kicked the last goal for the Devils and a strong mark overhead. His kick's a dangerous one. Fletcher was able to intercept, not able to grab cleanly though, and Bewley didn't panic, gave it back to Hatcher, back to Bewley, kicks long up the wing for Darley, the direction of Johnson, didn't mark it, was able to get the footy on the bounce, kick into the forward 50 in the direction of Edwards, gets some support from George, and gosh, he got that one super high as well, so some questions to be asking. Mickey Edwards would take the free kick, was met really high, and his kick looked like a man who was concussed by the contact.
Horrible kick. Hutt intercepts off the Medwell. Thumping ball down the line as the feeling's really in this one. Cadman behind the footy of the Joel varieties. They will take the mark. He'll play on, use the stand rule and look to attack corridor, you feel. In the dying embers of the opening term, it's inside 50 with a shallow ball, and umpires pick their free kick, hands in the back. He says it's going to go against, or the out of zone umpire is going to say it's against Hatcher against the bigger opponent, Toby Hutt, who was pushed underneath it, couldn't get access to it. Maybe rightfully so, the man that's leading the race for the Sporting Globe Player today ends up with the footy in hands. The siren sounded, as you would hear through the effects mate, for the signal. Quarter time here at the Marty Bush Reserve, 6-3. We'll get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put him in front.
Bloods, who's at centre half forward, and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous spot in the left forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball, and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy to Fulton, outstretched hands. How's the gather from Pittard? Took a bounce on the cricket pitch, if you don't mind. Kicked into a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back to back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chance for McLean, who loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable.
One of the burritos to come my way. Zambrero makes the best burritos in town. Taste one for yourself. Dine in, take away or delivered. Zambrero. Feel good Max.
Go Harvey Norman. Epic audio deals on now. Shop big savings on the best brands in sound. JBL soundbars from $163. JBL party boxes from $345. Plus more epic deals on big brands including Samsung, Sony, LG and Sonos. Save $70 on Sony Mark V wireless noise cancelling earbuds, now just $328. And save $100 on the JBL 201 wireless noise cancelling headphones, now under $250. Best brands, best range, best prices. There's more in store and online at Harvey Norman. Epic audio on now. Conditions apply.
Cold weather is closing in on Ballarat. Be ready before it hits. Ballarat Mobile Forklifts now delivers BMF firewood while still doing all the usual work: on-site construction, pallet deliveries, truck loading, spa removals and more. Stay warm this season. Jump onto ballaratmobileforklifts.com.au. Check out all the services and follow the firewood link to order your BMF firewood. Ballarat Mobile Forklifts and BMF Firewood. Warmth delivered.
If you're a current or former smoker, aged between 50 and 70 years old, then a simple chest CT scan could save your life. Lake Imaging, together with Chest Scan Australia, are supporting the National Lung Cancer Screening Program. Lung cancer can go undetected for decades, so don't wait until it's too late. To see if you qualify for a free chest scan, speak to your GP or visit lakeimaging.com.au. Choose experience. Choose Lake.
G'day, I'm the car whisperer. And that car needs a tune-up. That one needs a lot of work. Well, I'm sure Saint Mick from Mick's Pro Gas can help that one as well. From a full service, new oil and filters, and a run on the dyno, Mick will get your car running top-notch. Also for gas conversions, repairs, tyres, tank testing and general servicing, call Mick's Pro Gas on 5336 4646.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Brings the ball out towards the coach's box. Johnson got met.
He was tunnelled.
Tunnelled, and no free kick from the umpire, and he's hurt. But in the end, it's going to be a mark for Sebastopol.
Right foot on his way. Gets good purchase. It looks good off the boot. I like it. So does Toby. Adam Forbes gets a gift, tucked in the left forward pocket. He'll use a couple of steps around the body, screw punts. The guy by just tips the head back, and the Borough have 4. Yes, welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E with the Metro scoreboard reading as follows. Sebastopol, 6 goals, 339. They're leading Darley 2-4-16 here at the Marty Bush Reserve. I want to go to Brad McGowan. Thanks for One Life Insurance for his thoughts of an opening quarter of footy that had plenty of feeling in it and plenty of goals.
Yeah, it was a wonderful quarter of football for Sebas in particular. Their midfield either won clearances or they put enough pressure on to win the ball back. And then it was really Sebas's forward line that dominated. Edwards at centre-half forward was really important for them. He took a couple of marks from kick-ins, even in that centre circle, the old-fashioned bullseye, where you kick the ball in and aim for the two centre circles. He was able to mark a Torp there at one stage, another good overhead mark. He got it in deep. And their other key forwards, Little Hales and Hutt out of the ruck, they were so good. Forbes, as a small forward, was dangerous. They just really, in the end, had the Darley team rattled. And but in particular, it was Sebastopol's pressure all over the ground that just meant Darley couldn't get many clean possessions, which is something that'd be a bit it's a bit unusual for them to look rattled.
Swirly breeze conditions here at the Marty Bush was today. Yes, maybe slightly favouring the Velodrome, but I don't think there's a heap in it on the scoreboard front, Brad.
No.
But Darley will have that breeze advantage here, and most important, they'll try to work hard to cut back the lead.
They will, but they won't be able to bomb it in. That's not their style. Like the breeze, usually you go, let's kick long to tall forwards. They don't have tall forwards. Johnson will keep hitting up, so they'll have to keep lowering their eyes.
Our man Tristan Ashmore was listening to Dan Jordan's quarter-time address, and tell you what did the DJ have to say.
First thing Dan Jordan said when he had his boys all in there was he wanted his boys to take the emotion out of the game and out of the umpire's decision. He wanted his mids to be more direct as they were minus 13 inside 50s, and his defenders wanted a bit more accountability between each other.
Thank you very much. Tristan Ashmore was listening in to Dan Jordan's quarter-time address, trying to keep a keen eye as well on Andy Azzopardi, who left the ground in the hands of trainers after a contact with Sam Wilkinson, which we know to be looked at.
Interesting, we don't see this very often in footy more. At the quarter-time break, Matthew Brett went in from Darley and spoke with the umpires at length, to the point that the Darley runner actually in the end went over and got him and brought him back to the huddle. So some frustration at Darley's end, and while we would never advocate questioning umpires' decisions, I reckon there was a couple there that they had good reason to complain about Brett McGowan.
The thing is, Matthew Brett isn't allowed to talk to him. Is he? You can send your captain. Matthew Brett's not the captain. Brett Bewley's the captain.
That's right. No, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see whether anything comes of that during the week. Quickly for Go Vita, your local health store. Redan 2315, Trail, North Ballarat 5434. Lake Wendouree 2 straight 12, behind East Point 4832. As play gets underway to start the second quarter, here's Sam Young.
Second term underway here at the Marty Bush Reserve, round 6 action, Indigenous round here in the Ballarat Footy League. The Borough have the early ascension. Hutt just takes it out of the air, then coughed it up with the hand pass. Well, incorrect disposal, says the umpire. Holding the ball. Good start for the Devils. Hand pass off from Cadman, found its way to Baker. Now Hines was probably their best in the opening term as he goes inside forward 50. Kick was too tall for the intended target in Johnson. Hutt, the Ben variety, got it off there to Stewart. Scrubby kick will work. And the mark, well, in the end, falls in the lap there of Toby Hutt at half-back for Sebas as he looks to access the corridor, finds Jack Banbury a little pocket of space, ignored the drive-by of Henderson initially, one of their prominent ball users. Does he go down the middle as he looks to just slow things up? Looks to lead at half-forward, getting on the move there. Should be marked by Homerhoff, who copped a bit of attention at full stretch, but held on to the mark. Ben Hutt running hard, should mark this now 50 from goal, which he does. Distance beyond him against the breeze, you'd feel. Looks to lower the eyes, looks for his brother, Toby all by himself. He's at the game on a string.
Had it at both ends of the ground.
And you just asked the question, and Duncan Cameron's one of the, prominent defenders, doing a role in the ruck in season 2026, but just lost him in transition. That's how I can describe Brad McGowan.
Well, if you coach Dan Jordan, you're very grumpy with that because it looks like the players, the Darley players, look like they're covering off or manning up, but they're within 5 metres. But near enough's not good enough, and Sebas exposed that and constantly just chipped the ball through them. Darley shouldn't do that. They need to get closer and stop giving up those easy marks.
The brothers are linking up there. They're their own version of brothers of destruction there, and Ben Hutt to Toby Hutt inside forward 50 will line up on a 45-degree angle from 45 metres out for the perfect start for Sebas. Has to arc around there a little bit. In the end, he's shinned it. Bouncing ball won't make the distance. Little Hales keeps it alive. Knocks it back towards Fletcher. Lively ball. Benari left foot kick. Scrubby one just wrong side of the post for Sebas. And in the end, 6-4-40 is the score on the Metro scoreboard. Darley 2-4-16.
Some nervous moments for the Devils. They trail by 4 even goals here. The early stages of the second quarter. Billy Myers plays on and goes straight down the middle with the aid of that breeze. Lockyer gets back for Sebas. Was nudged under the footy umpire, called play on. Henderson mops up for Sebas, came over the top. No one went to the footy, and Darley were able to come in and force some pressure. In the end, Henderson was good enough to go back and get it. His kick was smothered. Came back to Hunt again. He's got the ball on a string. Kicks long towards a one-on-one on the goal square. Manari probably could have grabbed that. Good spoil by Myers. Kept the ball in front of him. Darley gonna get out of this. Oh, but the handball missed the target. Came back to Little House. Onto Fletcher. That's moving close to the goal line.
Well called, Roger LeGrand. And it's just about not giving up inside forward 50 with pressure, Brad McGowan. It was the pressure that creates the mistake, and Fletcher capitalises.
it's just rinse and repeat. Same thing happens every time. These Darley defenders get it. They're under too much pressure and they turn it over. But it all actually started with that bullseye kick. Myers kicked it right to the middle. But what you do as a team is you say, right, we're going to kick in with the breeze right to the middle, and everyone try and get to the drop of the ball. Darley players then ran on and past it, so their whole midfield went past it. Sebast got the ball, and it meant that Darley were out, couldn't defend the play, and Sebast were able to just work their way through it and eventually get the goal.
Very nicely done for a One Life Insurance, our man Brad McGowan there, as Sebast draw first blood in the second term. 30 points now on the Metro scoreboard. Darley with it all to do in this one at the Marty Bush Reserve. Hutt wins it down the ruck. Baker, being industrious as always, wheels to his left side for the Devils, and then he comes back towards the traffic to sweep the hand pass off to Duncan Cadman. Right foot kick will go inside forward 50. A good presentation, a nice strong mark taken by Javen Tanner. He'll line up for goal and head-to-head with Tony Lockyer at that one, and the kick was just perfect. Nothing that Tony could do there, Brad.
That's right. Tony looks frustrated. Tony is playing a sort of step off, trying to get over and help other people, and wasn't quite close enough in the end. Taverner should line up for a much-needed goal for Darley.
Listed on VFL with Footscray in season 2026 is Javen Tanner. Has one already this afternoon for the Devils. Right on the 50-metre arc. Distance won't be a problem. The right foot kick is long and strong off the boot. Fading late, though, to the wrong side of the post if you're a Devils fan. 2-5-17 on the Metro scoreboard as the ball disappears into the Velodrome. Sebastopol lead by 29 points.
So it'll be Jack Buckley, our pre-game interview. Very entertaining pre-game interview. Very knowledgeable man is Jack Buckley from Sebastopol. Came from St Joseph's in the Geelong Footy League. In the end, he elects to go short. Finds Hutt, Ben in this case, who goes in short again and finds Cassidy. Cassidy on the 50-metre arc, defensive 50-metre arc for Sebast. They're certainly not hurrying to get the ball out of there, looking slow and steady. In the end, Cassidy comes up the line in the direction of, great mark overhead, Toby Hutt. Umpire's found a free kick, has he? No, it's going to go the way. It's going to pay the mark to Toby Hutt, hasn't he? He had a game and a half.
Yep.
An early contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, no doubt. Brad McGowan.
Yeah, best on right now.
Goes sideways and finds Henderson, who comes backwards to Cassidy. So very methodical in their approach here. Cassidy goes back to Henderson. They're building up their Premier Data stats. And Henderson just looking for the right option and not content to do the long bomb down the line. In the end, he plays on and goes in short up the line and finds a vacant, by himself, Luke Keel, the veteran. He's got those calf things on. The umpire's called it out in the full, I think, in the end. It's going to be a free kick the way of Nick Hines.
So let off for the Devils as Sebastopol picking their ways through down the line, and Hines, the beneficiary at half-back, knows one way and goes along down the line. Tanner at the back, Lockyer from the side, quickly the back. Tanner actually weighted down in the end, and in the end, the ball's off hands and out of bounds. So it won't be one of those lasso free kicks. It's touched, so out of bounds, says the boundary umpire. Ball in, we'll play 6 minutes in this second term at the Marty Bush Reserve. The Borough lead by 29 points on the Metro scoreboard. Toby Hutt in the ruck. Up against now Billy Myers. I called for this in the opening term. Get him around the footy, and Billy does well in the ruck to win it down. Although Sebastopol, the numbers at the fall of the ball. Ben Hutt clever around the body, just required 15, finds the chest of Lockie Cassidy. He just loves those little chip marks, finds little pockets of space. And
he'd have some good numbers, wouldn't he, Cassidy?
You'd be matching our bingo man Bewley today as he goes long down the line. Edwards from the side, if you don't mind. That was impressive. Takes the mark. Strong contested. Can go left, can go right. Right foot. Wants to go with the right boot over the top and find Minari as, again, Sebastopol chip it over the top. Brad McGowan, they chip, they pick their ways through. Darley unable to slow them up for the moment. Short ball finds Henderson working well for Sebastopol as they've advanced to about 65 metres out. With their tall timber forward, this could be a long one to the top of the square. Piercing ball, keeps it low against the breeze. In the end, Bewley gets back as half after this. Intercept mark takes it in the defence for the Devils.
Tristan Ashmore adds one to his tally sheet for Brett Bewley as he plays on, comes down the ground and finds Andrew as a party. Quick handball onto Hine. He had a teammate of Matricati by himself. In the end, went on the outside of his boot. Matricati's going to be up to it anyway. Strong off the body contact from George. Looked reasonable enough, and a great kick from Matricati. Darley appealing for a 50-metre penalty. And the mark will be taken by, looks like Cadman, I think, from about 35 metres out on the slightest of angles. So Good play from Darley. They found the opening. It's Andrew as a party in the end who took that mark, that contested mark, and he's going to have a shot at goal.
And Lockie George just made sure that Jake Wilkinson for Sebas ended up on his backside. Wilkinson was the one that hit a Darley player earlier. I'm sure he would have been mentioned his name in the huddle, and Lockie took the opportunity.
So Andrew as a party kicks, and he's going to miss nearly everything in the end. It maybe just snuck in from behind, and they could have done with that one, the Devils. They go to 2 goals, 5-17, trailing Sebas 2 goals, 8-18, sorry, trailing Sebas 7-4-46 on the Metro scoreboard.
Darley don't really look any good unless Bewley and Hine get the ball. Apart from that, they're really struggling to move it.
Buckley short ball, the 8-minute mark, we'll find it in the pocket to O'Shea. It was good to see Azapati has checked back into the game, so all good on the injury front there. The kick was too tall from Sebas. Turnover, Hind at half forward, looks left, looks right, measuring pass is good and finds his target. Mark's taken there by Watkins, just inside the paint. Right, about 45 metres, I'd say, 45 metre out kick, you would think, for in game 2, Kai Watkins.
Nick Hine looks like the one that he's the player that can get Darley back into this. He's the one that looks to be using the ball. He looks dangerous. I think they need to shut him down. 13 disposals and a goal on debut last week against the Lakers. Watkins starts his approach. Gets very close to the man at the mark, but the kick's good. No problem. On the line. No. It's over. It's a goal. It's his second. We've seen your footy career. And Darley's third of the afternoon, 3-6-24 on the Metro scoreboard. They move to Sebastopol, 7-4-46. It's also, it's obviously that scoring end. The Velodrome end has the breeze. You can see it holding up as Sebastopol go up with the against the breeze. Sebastopol also clearly looking to slow the game down. They've been taking the ball wide, just taking their time, mark after mark. If Darley can just start to cover off a bit better and stop Sebastopol's little chipping and wasting time, that would help them to get back into this game.
Play back underway in the middle of the ground for D2E Gems as Myers grabs the footy out of the baruck, handballs it to Hind, who goes streaming for the middle from outside 50. Long shot at goal. Hits the post for Darley. Gosh, so close yet so far behind for Darley. They go to 3 goals 10, the scoreboard's telling me. 3 goals 9, I think. It's
3 goals 7. We've got a few issues with the electronic scoreboard. I'll still ask if anyone can read the instructions in Mandarin. Come visit us up in the box. We would like to get the scoreboard.
25-46. Let's just say that in favour of the Borough.
So Buckley will play on from full back. Runs his full measure. Thumps it out towards the broadcast side centre wing. Cassidy from the side against Lahure. Had to fist it. And in the end, at the crumb there was Cadman. Ran away from Whoopie tackle. Put Bewley under pressure. Just had to knock it on more or less than anything. Diving in now is Hind. He gets in the Bewley direction with strength. Did he get a clean disposal? No! Caught to the ground, caught by Toby Hutt, holding the ball, free kick. Very rare you see that. The Brett Bewley's unable to shake and bake any tackle.
Yeah, they had his left arm pinned, so he didn't know how to drop the ball.
So Hutt will just go the measured 15, and in the end was too short, and Henderson could mark. Still a chance though for Sebastopol to exit. Free kick, probably a lucky one from how poor the kick was. Diving over the top was Matricard. He can't believe it. Free kick will go the way of Cassidy. We'll go towards half-back, find Buckley.
Nick Hind coming off quickly here, boys. Looks in a little bit of trouble lower back.
We'll have a look at that one shortly as the kick's going across half-back for Sebas. Lockyer, the beneficiary of it. Had Curtin inboard, wants to go more central and longer and finds Edwards. Now he might wield that to his left side this time. No, he goes right, continues towards the outer side. We had a loose player in Hutt. As he looks to go inside forward 50, does Ben. Stream from inside 50 is Banbury, and the kick was centimetre perfect. He takes the mark, tucked in the right foot pocket, there's Bam.
Another Sebas chain of marks, easily inside 50 with Darley defenders trailing 5 metres behind.
Those 3 mark chains, I know you know all about them, Brad McGowan. They'd be dominating that stat.
Yes, yep.
So Banbury, a silky user, 30 metres out, tucked in the right foot pocket. We go drop punt against the breeze. We thread the needle. We go check side. Keep a look at it. He's going with the drop punt is Banbury. Right foot kick. He's across the face, and in the end, just scraped through for a minus score. 7-5-47 on the Metro scoreboard towards Darley's 3-7-25.
When you coach a team that loses a lot, you get good at getting them to cover off, man up. But when you're coaching a team that's always winning, like Darley are, they probably don't focus as much on manning up and covering off because you've generally got the ball. that's possibly part of the reason why they're just not used to doing that, because they're not doing it very well at all here at the moment.
Brett Muley comes straight down the middle of the ground. Mark not able to be taken, spilt out wide. Minari, the veteran, leads in the race for the ball. Tackled, dropped it. Umpire called play on. Minari goes back in and taps it over the line. Wow. Oh, gosh. The less I've got to say about that, the better. The umpire will throw the ball back into play right in front of the Sebastopol box. If Dan Jordan had any hair on his head, he would be pulling it out, I am sure.
I'd hate to be the assistant coach because they're losing their stuff on the top. Let's put it that way. As Myers has been injected in the ruck in this term and been good, but Little Hales, the opposing number 10, brings him to the ground as he took it out of the air, and we'll get another stoppage on true centre wing on the broadcast side. 30 minutes gone in this second term. I feel like the next goal is massive in the pendulum of this contest. Myers again knocks it down. Leaves it for Bewley. There's Baker. Had a man on the corridor, wanted to go to more true centre forward instead. It'll wobble inside forward 50, but only favour Buckley of Sebas, who spits at the back there towards his coach and Lockyer. Ball out towards the outer side. Foot race on in earnest. Freeman against Hommelhoff. Freeman will have Edwards in support. Hommelhoff just hacks off the deck towards the line, and in the end, with the new rule of lasso, that's a free kick will go the way of the Devils. Mikey Edwards will have it a half back for them.
So Mikey Edwards playing on a wing today. Goes onto his left boot, kicks long up the line, misses a target. And the Hutt brothers, more so Toby than Ben, have dominated today's play, and Ben's got on this occasion. He kicked a poor one, turns it over to Freeman from Darley on that outer wing. Has the ball in hand. In the end, elects to play on, kicks long towards half forward for Darley in the direction of Watkins. Spass players ended up colliding. Buckley got back, handball to Henderson. Came to Curtin, on to Cassidy. Came out of defensive 50. Sebastopol did very well there. And O'Shea has the mark. O'Shea short. Did the ball go 15 metres? Umpire says yes. Medwell, who's quietened down a little bit since his burst in the first quarter, kicks to Edwards. Brett spoiled for Darley.
Gone!
And gone holding the ball. Free kick to the bar, and they'll play on quickly.
They'll go quickly as they look to send it inside forward 50 through Medwell. A long blind kick towards full forward. Cadman getting back. Takes a strong mark at fullback, there's Joel, and he wants to go quickly for Darley towards the broadcast side. Letting it bounce. There will be Steekstra as he'll flip it back towards Myers. And as a part, he didn't use him. The scrubby kick around the body was creative. Turnover. Hummelhoff picked the pocket. Goes onto the leader. Minari fisted behind there by Cadman. Minari bounced up. Right foot kick around the bodies high towards the top of the square. They both go around. Full marks on his knee! How did he do that? He pulled his opponent down. He was on his knees. Couldn't believe his luck. Umpire put the whistle away. And the fullback, the Miracle Man, he can do it all.
He did have to take a couple of knee steps forward to be able to mark it from there, but he did.
Oh, he is the definition of highlight. I tell you, how did he do that? He had no right when he went to ground. He probably infringed his opponent, but we don't care, because for the fullback, he'll have 3. The Murray get their 8th of the afternoon. 8-5-53 on the Metro scoreboard and 3-7-25 midway through this second term. At what point is that panic button or that alarm bell really signalling in Dan Jordan's coach's box for one life insurance Brad McGowan?
Probably a couple of goals ago. That was just the same tried and true method. Sebas built up, be able to chip around Darley, let him mark it all over the place. And then eventually the pressure from Sebas causes turnovers, and once they win the ball back, they're able to get shots on goal. So it's really, can Darley take it a bit slower out of the back line and not turn the ball over? And can they cover off a bit better to stop Sebas marching the ball slowly down the ground?
Myers in the ruck against Hutt. Henderson tapped it forward. Freeman won a handball for Darley. Got the 1-2, handball it back to Myers, streaming through the middle, comes inside 50, shot at goal from just on 50, goal to the Devils. A much needed 4th goal for the afternoon for the Devils, and on the Metro scoreboard, they're back within 22 points.
Youngie, you talked about getting Billy Myers on the ball, and I assume the reason you want to do that is for plays just like that. He
100%.
Jumped in the ruck, and then he's just around the ball. So he's able to then have more influence.
Well, you go back a couple of rounds ago when they played back smash, second half goes forward with a little bit sore, kicked 8 goals. So he is just your match winner. He is the guy. He is him. So when you're down and out, that's what you do. You get him around the footy, get him forward, whatever that is, try to have a positive impact on the contest, show their beautiful sidestep and goal to get Darley's 4th of the afternoon.
He's not necessarily a great tap ruckman, tries to grab it out of there at times, but his second efforts are so good.
Here he goes again, Myers. Hind. Tackle without the ball. Umpire called play on. Then was probably should have been ping for holding the ball. Umpire called play on. Medwall, who's been super for Sebastopol this afternoon. Hind smothered his handball. Freeman went back in, strong tackle, and it'll be a repeat stoppage. Almost where the initial ball up was after the goal.
Starting to get the instant response. Can they string a few together? Hutt with a knockdown, though, for Sebastopol. Flying through his keel. Right foot kick, the full forward's a wobbly one. Position A, likes the fortunes for Darley on this occasion is Matthew Brett. The ever reliable. Coaches the back line at Devils, the assistant coach, vice captain, and goes towards Billy Myers, who's paid the mark. Could have been a shove in the back nevertheless. Having a real influence, as he always does, is Big Bad Billy. Defensive side centre wing.
He's changed the game. Toby Hutt's not having anywhere near the influence anymore, and he couldn't go with him there. That's why Toby gave away that free kick.
Looks in corridor bound, decides he has to just thump one off one step towards high half forward. Big fight at the back came from the Sebastopol player Fletcher. He didn't touch it. Probably nearly an opportunity for a free kick against him, to be fair. Curtin will exit on the outside with a high ball, bouncing ball. Densley wrong-footed by McDonald. He just slapped it forward. Getting across there is Edwards. Shrugged the tackle nicely to Mikey. And we'll go left foot kick inside forward 50. That's a beauty. Should have been marked. It wasn't. It was Tanner there. Just let it slip at the final moment. A let off for Sebastopol. Keel will exit the hand pass. The Borough dump kick out of the fence. It will come back with interest. Darley out of access corridor. Short ball find Lockie George.
He dropped the ball. The umpire paid the mark anyway. Goes back to a teammate in Densley. Kicks long to half forward in the direction of Matricati, who didn't even contest it in the end, and Henderson for Sebastopol able to take the mark. He's had quite some game this afternoon, Felix Henderson. He's the everywhere man and just has that bit of polish and class when he gets the footy. He goes short to Toby Hutt. Myers prepared to give him that one and push back behind play. Up the line to Minari. Ash Minari for Sebastopol. He's right on centre wing in front of the Sebastopol coach's box as we tick on 20 minutes in this second quarter. In the end, Minari goes straight across the ground dangerously. Good kick, though. Ben Hutt up to the task. Marks, plays on quickly, kicks in long. Darley defenders get in front. White. George, who's gone back, helps out. Goes in short to Azapati. Takes the mark in the middle of the ground.
George running past for Fligo top there to Hind, who's checked back in the game with a wrong right foot kick towards a vacant forward line. Foot race beyond it. It's the two number fours, Hatcher against Stewart. They both changed the numbers going into this one, into that number 4. Stewart at ground level holds things up. Umpire says in the back. Free kick will go the way of Sebastopol.
So 20 minutes gone. Darley do need to get a couple more goals with this breeze. Currently trailing by 4.
So time on it, just said Brad McGowan in the second term. You're right, they need to get some bang for their buck with the breeze. Because you know Sebastopol have it coming out after half time. They can inflict more punishment potentially with how strong and how scoring end has been this afternoon thus far. Measured pass, just the 15 over the top, finds a target. Sebastopol to just hold things up. It's very much different to how there was go, 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 and the overturn very slow, so slow. In this quarter, Brad McGowan.
And defensive side, they're always going out that side.
Cutting back, a nice mark in there by Darley, and the handball receives off the Bewley as he will thump it inside forward 50 for the Devils to the hot spot. A blind kick in the hot spot, and Lockyer loves those. He just drops off his man, takes the intercept grab. He'll hold things up in defence for Sebastopol.
Comes across the ground to the interchange side of the ground. Finds Stewart it is. He's swapped numbers with Buckley's. I was a little bit confused there. Stewart's kick was very dangerous. Curtin did very well to mark it in the end for Sebastopol and played on quickly out in the direction of Hutt. Comes up the wing and finds O'Shea for Sebastopol. On the outer side comes inboard, finds Bailey Medwell for Sebastopol. He's on the back line of the centre square. Handball to Ben Hutt. Goes short up the line. Good strong mark overhead. Handball goes on quickly back to Hutt. Goes inboard, finds O'Shea. Onto Keel for Sebastopol. Handball over the top to Medwall. Medwall on 50. Bullet pass and finds Minari. About 35 metres out from goal.
Boys, there was 9 marks in a row and 3 handballs in that possession. They just were able to chip it around far too easily. I don't understand why Darley keep just letting their players have a few metres. In the end, Sebastopol are just too skillful. You can't allow them to do this.
And how important was the gut run from Bailey Medwell? Just taking that ball at speed and the bullet to the chest there of Minari tucked up in the right foot pocket. Line for goal. Has the one behind to his name this afternoon thus far. The right foot kicks on its way. Just across the face for his second blemish of the afternoon. The Borough 8 goals, 654 on the Metro scoreboard. Darley 4-7-31. Bewley will go quickly with the kick-in duty. Might get some bingo numbers from our man Tristan Ashmore and him in a moment as fisted away by Lockyer. We'll stick with the action. Minari bounced off his direct opponent, says no worries. Handballs over top towards Keel. Set up for the veteran. Right foot in the lead towards Mason. Fisted away defensive by Luhure. The ball's still alive. Keel's follow-up was good. Darley desperate by hands to keep it moving forward and out of their defensive 50, but the tackling pressure by Sebastopol is good. Let's go down now, Tristan Ashmore, for a bit of a bingo update.
16 disposals and 2 clearances for Brett Bewley, boys. The feeling in Darley, just flat and frustration.
I can understand that frustration too, I think. A couple of things we've seen this afternoon. Myers won the hit out towards the boundary line, fumble from George. Got it back to Nick Hind. Used his foot speed to advantage. On to Watkins. Back to Bewley. Races inside 50. Beautiful kick to as a party.
Johnson.
Here's Johnson in the end, who's marked about 25 metres out directly in front.
So Darley are still a chance if you can get Brett Bewley and Nick Hind running away from stoppers like that. But I mean, they're two of the better country footballers around. They should be playing VFL, if not AFL. Their running and kicking ability. When they do that, they're setting up scores, and Johnson needs to kick this one.
He'll kick from directly in front, around 25 metres from goal. Darley spearhead, Will Johnson. Umpire moves a little bit to his right, but Johnson looks happy, and Darley have their fifth. 5-7-37. They trail Sebastopol 8-6-54 on the Metro scoreboard.
Well, we said the next goal in this game was massive in the pendulum, and that one there gives Darley a little bit closer in the breathing space. We get into the dying embers of the term now. 24 minutes gone, Brad McGowan. They string a couple more. In the end, despite probably being off their ball, you'd probably be happy if you, in a weird way, Dan Jordan, at least to get the scoreboard in check, if they can string a few more together.
Yeah, well, you know, if that class gets the ball like that, they are going to score. So you'd never feel safe against Darley. They've come from behind week after week. So, no, you're right. Sebastopol don't want any more scores against this quarter.
It's simple. Myers, Bewley, Hind and Baker on the middle. Makes a big difference. We've got the 4 big guns in there. Sebastopol trying to win it forward. Bewley with the hands. Looks to 1-2 with Densley. Steps around, gets around the whip. He take that high. Oh, does he? Coughed it up. Fletcher goes the other way. Right foot kick for Sebastopol towards the vacant half-forward flank. Little Hales led to it. Beaten to it by Myers. We'll go to Matt Riccardi. Foot candy was good. High exit kick's going to be a tough one. The mark has Toby Hutt's name all over it. Takes the mark. There's Sebastopol Ruckman. Ball towards the half forward for Fletcher. He'll mark 60 from goal in a direct position. Has Forbes a full forward. Could get the handball received. Decides to float a mongrel towards the full forward position. Ball alive at ground level. Bewley coming through the other way. Coming was Forbes. Got the handball off. And White shrugged the tackle too high to the displeasure of Sebastopol Faithful. And it did slide up slightly. I think the umpire got that one right. And White survives. Actually, sorry, it's Chaz Jones. My apologies. Gives off there to Hind with the high ball down the line. Tanner and Curtin. Tanner 1-2-3. Got it. Defensive side, centre wing on the broadcast side.
Done some nice things this afternoon as Tanner for Darley. Kicks long towards Johnson. Ball spilt over the back. Foot race on 2 against 1. Johnson up against 2 Darley defenders. He shrugs off Lockyer and kicks the ball beautifully inboard. Magnificent play from Will Johnson. And he finds Grant Hatcher around 25 metres from goal, nearly directly in front. What do you think of that, Brad McGowan, for One Life Insurance?
They're just so fast, Darley, aren't they? They're not scoring from stoppage. They're scoring from a transition from defensive 50, and they're moving the ball really quickly. In that case, it was Tanner and then Johnson, 2 of their superstar forwards, that were able to set up those goals and shot on goal.
So after the siren, to string back-to-back goals, Grant Hatcher comes in to give him a real boost into the major break. He's got it. And the Devils will go into halftime 6-7-43 on the Metro scoreboard to Sebastopol's 8-6-54. And a very fascinating opening half of footy. Only a 9-point margin the other way of the Borough as the pendulum shifted into Darley's advantage in that term. We're going to take a break here at the Marty Bush Reserve thanks to our number 1 ticket holder, D2E. We'll get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put him in front.
Bloods, who's at centre half forward, and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous spot in the left forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball, and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy. to Fulton, outstretched hands.
Danger.
From Pittard, took a bounce on the cricket pitch, if you don't mind. Kicked into a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back-to-back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chester McLean loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable.
And C's apply. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Let Zambrero cater for your crew. Feeding your staff, hosting a family lunch, catering a fiesta with 200 of your closest relatives, Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. With vegetarian, vegan and gluten-free options, everyone can get their feel-good Mex fix. Find out more at zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel-good Mex.
Do you have a concern about your aged care? If you have feedback or concerns, you can talk to your provider. They must respect your right to choice, dignity and feeling safe. You can also talk to the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission. We help resolve issues and take action when needed. Safe, quality care is your right. Find out more at agedcarequality.gov.au or call 1800 951 822.
We're looking for great ideas that could make a real difference in your community. The $4 million Western Renewables Link Local Grants Fund will support projects along the proposed route, funding things like playgrounds, solar and battery for community halls, and equipment for emergency services volunteers. Grants of up to $300,000 are now on offer. Free grant writing workshops are also available. Applications close June 30. Visit westernrenewablesLink.com.au or call 1800 975 975.
At Ingenia Lifestyle Parkside Lucas, you'll meet early morning walk people, coffee, outdoorsy and dip in the pool people, and even late evening get-together people who just so happen to be married to those early morning walk people. Resort-style living designed for over 55s with low-maintenance homes now selling. Ingenia Lifestyle Parkside Lucas for life-minded people. Search Ingenia Lifestyle Parkside Lucas to book your tour. T&Cs apply.
Constantly asking for people to repeat themselves? Trouble with that awful background noise? Nodding and smiling when you have no idea what's going on? Don't let
What did you say?
become your catchphrase this year. Call Country Hearing Care on 5333 2999 or visit chcare.com.au for all your family's hearing needs, including the latest in hearing technology. Locations in Ballarat Central and Sebastopol. Country Hearing Care. More people hearing better.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Kicks long towards a one-on-one on the goal square. Minari probably could have grabbed that. Good spoil by Myers. Kept the ball in front of him. Darley going to get out of this. Oh, but the handball missed the target. Came back to Littlehouse. Onto Fletcher. That's going to be close to the goal line.
Turnover. Hind at half forward. Looks left, looks right. Measuring pass is good and finds the target. Mark's taken there by Watkins. About 45 metres, I'd say. But the kick's good. It's a goal. It's his second. Welcome back to 3-Bay Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E Gyms. From Darley Round to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. As at half-time, the Metro scoreboard reads as followed. It is Sebastopol, 8 goals, 6.54, leading the Darley Ellis 6-7-43 with a late goal after the siren. Then a Grant Hatcher to give Darley a little more context in this game, Brad again. But for One Life Insurance, how do you see the opening half of footy? A lot of positives for Sebastopol. A bit disappointed, I guess, in a way, the scoreboard isn't further out of reach for all their dominance for majority of the afternoon, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It was an exciting first half. So Sebas kicked 6 with the breeze, 6 goals in the first quarter to Darley's 2 up against it, and then Darley got 4 goals with the breeze, most of them late in that second quarter there. Sebas kicked 2 against it. It appeared the ball was certainly in the Sebas forward line plenty, and Darley were able to score with sort of slingshot goals, moving the ball from their back line quickly into their forward line, and it generally involved Brett Bewley and Nick Hind finding space. At times, they used Javen Tanner, the forward, and generally Will Johnson was able to sort of get on the end of it and either kick the goal himself or set it up. So Darley was certainly able to slingshot the ball. I still think Darley are winning plenty of inside contested football and clearances, but they're just not able to get it to their outside players very well because of the pressure of Sebas. Sebas are a very good pressure side. They need to continue to do that, particularly their forward pressure. They've been scoring lots from causing turnovers inside their forward half. So if you're Dan Jordan, the coach of Darley, you'd be saying, all right, well, let's continue to try and win the ball inside, and if we can we find a way to get it to the outside, whether that's giving it to Nick Hind, who certainly is looking dangerous. If I was Tony Lockyer, the coach of Sebas, I'd be tagging him, although he's not easy to tag because of his elite speed and running ability. And I'd also be just trying to, if you're Darley, can you find ways to get the ball out of defence without having the ball turn over? So I would be saying, let's limit the handballs out of the back line, because every time we handball, we seem to get run down. Let's mark and kick. Just take our time, slowly get out. When we're out, then we go. But just get out of back 50 for a start, because they seem to be in trouble when that happens.
For the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, there's been a number of players striking the stuff in fine form. Who stands out for you, Brad?
Well, I'd say Nick Hind has been fantastic for Darley when he gets the ball. As I said, his run and carry's been really good. Toby Hutt in the ruck for Sebas was great, although once, certainly in the first quarter, when Billy Myers came into the ruck for Darley, that changed a little bit. Myers sort of evened up the ledger a little bit there. I still think Toby Hutt's played well. I thought Tony Lockyer's been good in the back line. Joel Edwards, the forward for Sebas, has also been good.
Medwell's been good.
Yep, I agree. Medwell, plenty of ball. The usual, like Brett Bewley has been good, and some numbers on the Bewley bingo. We said he averages 44 possessions, 10 clearances, 2 goals. Well, right now he has 20 possessions, so he's on target for bingo. We said 40 would be bingo, but he's only had the 3 clearances. He's getting more ball on the outside. Having said that, when he does get the ball on the outside running, he's such an elite kick. He's had his hand in a number of these goals. I think he averages 11 score involvements, and we're not measuring that, but it would be around the 5, I would have thought. So Bewley's been fantastic also. Luther Baker, the other nude nut inside, has been pretty good. Maybe hasn't been as damaging with the ball. But look, Darley wouldn't be too disappointed to go in only 9 points down after really feeling like Sebas owned the footy in that first half.
It's now time to go around the grounds thanks to Go Vita, your local health store. Roger LeGrand, you're having a look at some of the games across the competition.
Yeah, some interesting results this afternoon. So Melton, we saw them play last week, and we know what their injury list is like. They're at home this afternoon to Ballarat. They lead 4-3-27 to Ballarat 1-4-10. Redan taking it right up to North Ballarat at City Oval. They're 4-9-33, trailing North Ballarat 7-5-47.
Very good.
Lake Wendouree, 4 goals straight, 24, trail East Point 8-11-59. So 19 scoring shots to 4, but the margin is only 25 points in favour of East Point at CE Brown Reserve. And in the final game of the round, Sunbury are up and down like a yo-yo, aren't they? Last week's Super, today they're struggling against the Marsh. So the Marsh 9-2-56, Sunbury 4-4-28. What are you seeing in the Central Highlands, Sammy?
We're seeing a big upset on the cards at Victoria Park. Daylesford 1 goal, 8-14, trailing Newham 5-6-36. Rokewood 8-7-55, lead Warburg 3-6-24. Skipton obviously had a very tough start. The reigning premiers there, 5-2-32, leading Hepburn 3 goals straight, 18. Bungaree in the match today against Springbank, they lead 8-6-54. Springbank 2-7-19 in that one. Gordon 10-9-69, lead Creswick 6-1-37. Unfortunately, I don't have any scores from the Bayonne Clunes game. Carlton Linton up against Beaufort, they're 3-6-24, leading the Crows 3-3-21. And Balan, what would be one of the upsets of the season, 5-3-2-3, lead Learmont early, 3 goals 8-26. Brett McGowan, might be a hard question to ask, but how's the AFL going?
Unfortunately, I do have an update. Adelaide are thumping North Melbourne.
I thought North kicked the first 3 goals or something.
North kicked the first 3. I think Adelaide kicked the next 11. 11 goals, that is. I feel like we've gone back in a time warp 2 years. Yes, so Adelaide lead 18-11, 119 to North Melbourne 6-8-44.
Ouch.
Very hard one for the Shipburners to swallow. As we might see if we can cross down to our man Tristan Ashmore. He's made his way over to the A-grade netball. Have you got us and got a live score there, my friend?
Yeah, boys, Darley showing why they are the reigning premiers and favourites to go back-to-back this season. They are currently up by 31 points over Sebastopol, 47-16.
Thank you very much. Tristan Ashmore loves his A-grade netball. I think he's more of a C-grade operator, though.
That's a bit hard. I think he's doing a super job this afternoon, is Tristan. Super job.
On debut, he might get a run around again sometime.
If I'm C-grade, Sam, what grade are you?
Definitely E. Well, they've made a whole new G League just for me. Here at the Marty Bush Reserve, we're going to take a break. Thanks to our number 2 holder, D2 Jim. You're listening to 3BA's Footy's Home Ground.
Start your day. Wake up with 3BA's PT.
Ever left anything behind? Perhaps you've been on a flight and left something in the seat pocket.
Yes, I've left something behind. It might have been a child of mine at one stage.
I did not see that coming.
I still get ribbed for this tiny little accident. We're at, I think it might have been Movie World, okay? And our youngest daughter was still in a pram, and I've got the instructions to go and park the pram before we go and see the Lethal Weapon show, I think it was. So I went and parked the pram, went back and sat down with the family, forgot the child. So, yes is the answer to your question.
And do they know about it?
Yes. Oh, yes, they know about it.
That leaves my left behind story nowhere close to being able to top that.
It's the Big Show with PT. Thanks to Metrol. Better service, better advice, better building solutions. Weekday mornings from 6 on Ballarat's 3BA.
Celebrate Australian Made Week with 10% in bonus gift cards now at Harvey Norman. Spend $500 or more on a huge range of Australian made, including selected lounges, dining, bedroom furniture and mattresses, and receive 10% of your purchase price in gift cards. Harvey Norman proudly supports local jobs, communities, skills and craftsmanship. Celebrate Australian Made Week with this huge offer. 10% in gift cards with selected Australian made lounges, dining, bedroom furniture and mattresses. Best range, best brands, best prices and bonus gift cards at Harvey Norman now. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Catering for your crew? Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. To find out more, head to zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel good, Max.
At my age, preparation is just part of life. To prepare for viruses like influenza and COVID, I get vaccinated regularly. Viruses are always changing. That's why vaccination really matters to protect yourself against serious disease and hospitalisation. And the risks go up when you turn 65. Vaccination is the best preparation. Speak to your health professional and book your vaccinations today. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Do you know an awesome father or father figure? Give them the recognition they deserve by nominating them for an Australian Fathering Award. Go to australianfatheringawards.org.au to nominate and learn more.
Auto paint and accessories at Wholesale Paint Group.
Now open. Visit the new showroom at 120A Learmonth Street, Alfredton, open from 7am. They offer a huge range of automotive paint and use the latest technology to mix colours that match your car paint. Plus, it's available in a spray can. They also offer auto care, buffing and polishing products. Call in and see the team with expert advice and experience.
Wholesale Paint Group.
No one understands paddock to play better than Sinclair Meats. This week, swing by for incredible specials like pork loin roast boned and rolled $19.99 a kilo. Enchiladas twin pack only $10. Chicken Kievs 4 for $20. Valid until Tuesday, May 19. Sinclair Meats, your local farmer, butcher and supplier. Visit 828 Latrobe Street, Delacombe or order online with free local delivery over $50. No one understands paddock to play better than Sinclair Meats.
When it comes to mobile phone and computer accessories, Harvey Norman Ballarat is the top destination. Discover the biggest range, quality brands and expert advice to match every device in your life. From chargers to cases, screen protectors, keyboards and cables, we've got it all. And with our best price guarantee, you can shop locally with confidence. Harvey Norman Ballarat, your top destination for mobile and computer accessories. Plenty of free parking. Corner of Gillies and Howard Streets, Wendouree.
Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action. Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
Welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. We're on the Metro scoreboard. Sebastopol by 9 points at the major break as both sides made their way back onto the ground. What's been a blockbuster matchup thus far. Brad McGround, we've had an absolute bumper crowd in.
Yep.
It's been plenty of feeling, plenty of push and shove. As a big game, it's lived up to the billing has had this afternoon.
It has, and I was excited by the halftime entertainment for Sebas here. Youngie, how much could you win if you kicked the footy into the bin?
$5,000 and big ones.
$5,000. That's worth the price of admission. So, but did you have to be a kid, or?
I'm not sure what the rules are. I might have to investigate that. But because I know what I would like. I'll be first to put my hand up for an opportunity. But yes, the Kick for Cash. They've been doing a fine job raising money for the footy club all year doing that. And it's a great little bit of entertainment for us in the box.
As a North Melbourne man, I remember the Macadam boys used to be able to kick a footy into a bin, and they had them on a North Melbourne show during the week, and they can still do it. They're about 55 now. They can still kick a footy into a bin. I could never get anywhere near it though, Rog.
Oh, I'm sure you're a little bit closer than you're telling us, Brad. I'll just quickly run through the goal kickers this afternoon. So Adam Forbes is one of the leading goal kickers in the league before today. Has kicked 3. Toby Hutt 2 for Sebas. 1 each to James McDonald, Jacob Fletcher and Joel Edwards. For Darley, they've all been singles, and they've gone to Kai Watkins, Billy Myers, Javin Tanner, Will Johnson, and after the siren, Sam Young, a crucial goal to Grant Hatcher.
Yeah, it was a massive, I think, moment in the game, Brad McGowan. It was a real 50-50 free kick. Now, I think that personally, umpire made the right decision with the over the shoulder, but Minari could have been lined up for goal with the tackle, 25 metres out directly in front, could make it, a bit of separation on the scoreboard. It goes down the other end. Darley get a goal after sign through Hatcher, and that really brings the scoreboard back in favour. That goes the other way. Minari gets the free kick, Sebas get a goal. Then we're talking, 24 points going to the major, or 21 points to the major break.
And a goal after the siren is obviously still only worth 1 goal, but it feels like it's worth more when you run back into your huddle.
Well, that was literally a 12-pointer, because as Young just said, it could have been another 6 that way, but in the end they found just enough time to get it down the other end and score. So you're right.
It just changes the mindset in the rooms at half time too. It's, hey, we're only down 9. Yes, our comeback's going well. We can win this, boys, as opposed to being down that extra goal and just feeling that bit flat. So don't be surprised to see Darley continue to play the style of football they want to play here up against the Breeze. I think Darley are probably just as likely to score up against the Breeze. They don't necessarily look to bomb it long anyway, so they're a run and carry, get the ball out of the stoppage with Hind and Bewley, etc. So this is obviously premiership quarter, but this is the pivotal third quarter now.
Billy Myers, for me, has to stay in the ruck. I mean, I can see why you start behind the footy, especially against the Breeze for damage control, but they still concede the 6 goals. At the end of the day, the impetus starts at the source of origin at the middle of the ground, and that's, for me, where you need sometimes your big guns. And Billy Myers was the real magnet swing for me to see Darley get away back in the contest in that turn, Brad.
He certainly was. He didn't have as much influence behind the ball that he often does. I think the fact that Sebas have such good key forwards down there and Myers wasn't able to sort of zone off that often. But we can sort of get an idea here as to where he's going. Can you see him, Youngie?
Just keeping a close eye out. I'm keeping a close eye on the benches as they re-emerge from the main
He's
break.
going to the middle. He's going to the ruck.
I just also wouldn't be surprised this turn for a period of time if someone like Nick Hine can spend a little bit of time behind the footy against the Breeze to give you that run and carry.
Yeah, well, Lockie George, he looked to be going to the middle. Now he's run further through. You're right, though. Nick Hine does love to get to a halfback flank, and against the Breeze, this would be ideal. He is in the centre, so we've got Bewley, Hind, and Baker.
7 defenders back there for Darley at the moment. I know we talk about 7. Are they going to play the spare behind the footy, or are they just one of the wingers push back for this chat? So no, actually
that's the
7th is the rotation. Freeman coming off, but
why would be? I mean, for me, I'd be starting this term, particularly for the opening 10 minutes. If it was up to me, Brad McGowan, just start with one behind the footy, just to eliminate, Sebas getting that crowd behind him like they did in the opening term with a couple of early goals with the Breeze to just try and neutralise the contest. Especially with no 666 in the Ballarat Footy League. I think it's ludicrous against the Breeze not to start with 7 for the opening 5 minutes at least.
The Breeze doesn't look really strong right now. Let's see what happens.
The third term under the way here is Roger Legrand.
Thank you very much, Sam Young. Hutt won that hit out for Sebas. Ball went to ground, rove by Hind. Going to be a repeat stoppage right in the middle of the ground.
Still no change to that structure. Sebastopol and Darley both trying to hit it in the same hit zone, and Darley are owning that hit zone.
Who've just joined us. It's Sebastopol by 11 points. Baker won the clearance for Darley. Kicked on his left boot towards half forward. The coach for Sebastopol, Lockie, gets it. Curtin fumbled the handball. Was good enough to knock it on. Henderson to Hutt long. Was there a hold on there? Edwards met the pack heavily. Good kick off the ground by Little Hales. It'll be a ball up. Half forward for Sebastopol. Early stages, third quarter.
Gee, Jared Edwards for Sebastopol is a strong customer, isn't he? Joel Edwards, sorry, not Jared.
Yes, hits the ball so hard and with full velocity. Back on the way here, handball was stolen there by Henderson. Scrubby left foot kick will fall. Shallow entry inside forward 50 for the Borough. Mason overran it. Cadman clean below his knees. Handball in the Machacardi direction. Got an unkind bounce. And it's very close to the boundary line. A stoppage is the result in the opening minute here at the Marty Bush Reserve. 8-6-54 on the Metro scoreboard. It's Sebastopol leading Darley 6-7-43. We'll get a ball in just inside forward 50. Myers up against his opposing number 10, and Little Hales doing the ruck work for Sebastopol. Ball in to number 10's go to battle. Myers wins it down decisively in the hind direction. He'll get the clearing kick with the right foot around the body. One. Bouncing ball, Azzopardi left it for George coming through. Azzopardi able to gather back the footy in the Myers direction. Shakes and bakes his way around a whoopie tackler and Banbury, and the piercing ball is an absolute ripper. Mark on centre wing, virtually opposite broadcast position by Andy. Azzopardi looks corridor bound. Down the chest there, Bewley. Left foot kick to centre half forward. Shows a bit of it. Medwell read the cues well. Took the mark. And the Borough looked to go through the middle quickly. The handball missed Henderson. Buckley had a fresh area off the deck. Comedy errors from some good players. Medwell says, stuff this. I'm going to pick it up. Run through players. Off the Cassidy. Down to Lockyer. Right foot kick will go inside forward 54. Sebastopol with the bouncing ball. Will favour Homerhoff. Brett gets across. Has the safety of the boundary line. He kept it alive with the over the hand shoulder. Picked the pocket was Homerhoff. Left foot around the body. It needs to go, and it's touched on the line and seen through for a minor score.
It was Lahure that got back just in the nick of time for the Devils. Must have only been a matter of centimetres and through for behind. That margin now a clean 2 goals as Darley bring the ball back into play. Back there it's Azzopardi looks to go across the face of goal. Dangerous, put Brett under pressure. Was up to the task for Darley. Took the mark, appeals for a 50-metre penalty against Homerhoff. Umpire said, no, go back and take your kick. So it's Matthew Brett, the veteran, key defender for the Devils. In the end, he's called to play on. Brings the ball out towards the coach's box side of the ground. Mikey Edwards, who's been really good this afternoon. Strong overhead mark for Darley. He's on the back line of the centre square. He plays on. Kicks up to the wing. Lockyer. Umpire's found a career kick for a hold and paid advantage. It'll go the way of Joel Cadman. 2 bounces. Handball over to Hind. He's got nothing in front of him. 1 bounce. 2 bounces. He's going to handball over the top or have a shot. He's going to say thank you very much and kick it himself. Goal to Hind. And suddenly the margin's back within a goal.
Well, the game is playing out to script. Darley were under real pressure in their back line. They struggled to get it out, but once they did get it out, the slingshot happened, and Hind got out the back. He could have handballed over the top, as you said, to a player in the goal square, but decided to take the kick, and he's a goal kicker. That is the way that Darley play. Slingshot off half-back, get it to Hind or Bewley, and they look so dangerous when they can do that.
Comes the 7th individual goal kicker this afternoon for the Devils, and for the first time in what has been a long time, it's single digits here at the Marty Bush Reserve. Sebastopol by 6 points in the Metro scoreboard. Darley have kicked the last 3 here. So back underway, Myers against Hutt. Hutt went whack with a big fist, gains 25 metres towards Truce and half forward. Will the Borough instantly respond? Homerhoff's been good. Off there to Keel. Handball receiver's good off the Banbury. Looks at the goal, sizes him up. Off the outside of the boot. In the end, he won't register a score. No instant response for Sebastopol as the ball's disappeared into the velodrome.
Banbury hasn't really had his normal influence. He's been getting a little bit of the footy, but can generally find some space and hit targets. That was an opportunity to do so, unable to do so on that occasion.
So Duncan Cadman retrieves the ball off the velodrome. That's how far it went over the fence, and takes the free kick. Kicks long. Out of defensive 50. Hutt found front position, wasn't able to take the mark. Ball went to ground. Fletcher goes in for Sebastopol, gets a handball forward. Forbes, with that speed, if he gets the footy, tackled straight away, and the umpire said no prior opportunity to be a ball up just inside 50 for the Sebastopol Boroughs.
Yeah, well done there by White, not to grab on, as Forbes had the best position. He waited for him to get access to the footy, then bring him to the turf. Myers took it out of the air with In the end, he just handed it to Bewley over the line instead of disposing it, and we'll get a ball in.
Yeah, that sort of Tristan Sherry style of ruck work where just tried to keep it in as close as possible and then get it to his gun midfielders.
So we've got a ball in, about 48 metres out of the goal. First time I've seen Edwards do any ruck work for Sebast up against Myers, the bigger frame. Versus the experienced Myers. Knocked down by Edwards was clever. But sharp by Darley and by Myers was a ricochet back in his direction. He clears D50 for the moment. Banbury, handball over the tops in the direction there of Keel. Needs to touch before it goes out to avoid the lasso free kick, and he does. And we'll get a ball in just outside forward 50. We've played 6 minutes in this third term. The only goal of the quarter going the way of Nick Hine and of Darley against the breeze.
So it feels like the calm before the storm. It's been the game's been played at such a frenetic pace this afternoon, and we've had very few moments like this where it's a little bit of slow play. Cadman went in. Baker's handball missed a target. Medwell, who has been super this afternoon for Sebastopol Sharks, it kicks long towards the goal square. Cadman able to spoil for Darley and knock the ball over the line. Brad, it's kind of slowed down a little bit to start the second half.
Yeah, lots of stoppages, just repeat stoppages there. Youngie Bailey Medwell looks to have bulked up a fair bit. I know he spent some time with the VFL club, but he was more of an outside player when he was first here at Sebastopol. He now looks like he's got the body of an inside midfielder.
Absolutely.
He's just come off clutching his wrist, boys. We'll see how that unfolds.
Dump kick from Darley clears defensive 50. It might come back of interest. One of my looks like maybe Cadman at ground level just to neutralise it. As Wilkinson's in a little bit of trouble, just a bit of a grimace, a bit of a limp up on that heavily strapped left knee. So we'll have to keep a look on that one.
Yeah, he's going to come straight off, boys, running straight over the bench.
So we'll keep an eye on him as well as the trainers working overtime for the Borough. Cassidy with another tackle on Baker. Those two hard nuts. Cassidy on the four-time Premiership player, Luther Baker. Myers, did he get rid of his direct ruckman Hutt illegally? Umpire says yes. Handball off to Henderson. 70 from goal. Will hit the hot spot with a long left foot kick. It's long, it's strong, and nobody touched it as they went over the back for a minor score. And a kind of bounce for Sebastopol would have seen it through the big sticks. It did not. They got an 8.56 on the Metro scoreboard. Darley 7.49.
Felix Henderson hasn't had quite as much influence as he has in those previous few weeks either. Getting onto that lethal left foot, you can see the skill he has.
Matthew Brett plays on from fullback for Darley, kicks out towards his bench. Johnson picked up, was tackled straight away, no free kick. Ball comes inboard to Hutt. His kick was to Edwards, dropped it back to Banbury. Round one, round two, shot at goal. Goes to the left-hand side. You heard the grimace from the Sebastopol supporters. Probably at that distance, at that range, it was a simple one for Jack Banbury, but he missed the left-hand side. The Boroughs go to 8-9-57, 7 goals. Is it 8 on the score? 7 goals, 10-49. I'm guessing because the scoreboard is flipping at such a rate. But the margin is 8 points in favour of Sebastopol.
Banbury just hasn't been able to find any space. So that on that occasion, he actually did have the space. He didn't think he did, though. So he just rushed the kick.
The sidestep was superb. Just couldn't finish it with the goal. And a couple warning shots from him in this term, but not between the big sticks. As Brett will do the kicking duties long towards the broadcast side. Hutt and Myers. Myers fisted it away. Grand level opportunity here for Sebastopol half forward for Hummelhoff. Well played there by White. Chaz Jones gives it off. Cadman had his pockets picked there by Stewart. His kick was partially smothered and entered inside 50. Bewley will have heel on his hammer. He was unable to gather. But given not to hatch this one in. Good tackle by Cassidy, as he always does. Does correct the stoppage inside forward 50. About 45 metres out from goal. We've played now 9 minutes gone in this third term. Inside 50 for Sebastopol. The ball has lived. No damage on the scoreboard though. Myers takes out the ruck, gets the hands free in the Bewley direction. He's brought to the ground by Cassidy. His handballs towards the boundary line. Banbury keeps it alive. He retreats initially to find the way. He's to Henderson, and he'll go further back to find Lockyer. 70 from goal and a thumping kick. Tony goes back and thinks, well, I can launch him, and if he flushes it with the breeze in the perfect spot, I mean, ambitious, I know.
Well, Nick Hines on the mark, and he's 56 metres out.
This is what, 65, 70? You'd have to get it. Lockyer roost a long one, right to the line. And then anyone touch it, and then somehow stayed alive. Remarkably bounced on Spoon eventually gets through for the minor score, but for a moment there, it was chaos ball around the goal line. It's a minor one, 8-10, 58 on the Metro scoreboard. Darley 7-49.
I'll just cross down to Tristan Ashmore for an update on Jacob Wilkinson. You can see 3 players standing on the bench. Tristan, how's Wilkinson looking?
He's still in the hands of the trainers, boys. That left knee was heavily strapped, just looked a bit unstable when he was walking back off the ground. Bailey Medwell's returned on the bench for Sebas, and Bailey Edwards is down with the trainers for Darley.
Thank you very much, Tristan Ashmore, as Darley have the ball on centre wing. Luther Baker's been tackled by Stewart. Did he get a boot to an umpire? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Handball over the top to Hind. Round the corner kick. Beautiful kick. In space. Hatcher fumbled. Watkins went in for Darley. Over to Luther Baker. His handball was smothered. Stewart's done some nice things for Sebas this quarter, and he was able to snag that ball and give it to Hommelhoff, who missed his target. Cadman picked up for Darley. Handball towards the centre of the ground. Azzopardi picked up. Tried to do too much to Azzopardi. Got a handball out in the end. Came to Steegstra for Darley. Side 50, and the coach, Tony Lockyer, gets back to take the mark on the chest.
Dark clouds have covered the Marty Bush Reserve now. We know there's a lot of rain predicted this evening and tomorrow. I reckon the lights might need to come on very shortly, as Buckley will clear D50 towards the broadcast side. Sets the task for Banbury. He's forced to spoil, brings to the ground. Cadman with the first rack for Darley. Handball inside was smothered, and now Stewart can break things up off to Cassidy. Good enough to get away from a whoopie tackler initially. His kick was smothered, well done by Darley. Bewley ends up with the invitation. Left foot kick into the corridor. It's got to be perfect, and it is.
Good mark.
Mark taken by Steegstra. He'll play on and spin it wide towards the other side, towards Matt Tricardi. 75 from goal. Johnson the deepest in the square. We know he likes a good run and jump at it, has good hops, might give him an opportunity with a high ball in the Johnson direction. From 3D, Johnson, he just didn't hang on. Ground level, Watkins, left foot snap. Got the perfect bounce, would you believe it? And he kicks his second.
Really interesting inside 50 there. Jake Wilkinson for Sebas is the one tasked with trying to stop Will Johnson. Will Johnson's got elite speed, so Wilkinson said, right, I've got to start nearly 10 metres in front of him because I can't keep up with him one-on-one. But as a result, that allowed Johnson to get a clean run at the ball, and that's why he's able to fly at the pack. And then as a result, it came cleanly off his hands, dropped beautifully to the Darley small forwards who were able to then have that shot on goal.
Exciting passage of play.
Sorry, it was Ryan Denzer that was down in the hands of the Darley trainers, but he's back on the ground now.
Sunbury mounting a comeback around the grounds for Go Vital. We'll give you some scores shortly as play back underway in the middle of the ground. Myers was pushing the back, umpire called play on. Baker has the ball for Darley, tackled. It'll be a ball up. Another Darley player down. Looks like Billy Myers, hand to his head. Probably could have been the recipient of a free kick. Umpire said no. Umpire's found a free kick, and it's going against...
It's going against Bewley here on Hutt, so he just impeded the Ruckman's run at the footy. So that's why...
Good pick up, Sam. So Hutt, whose influence after quarter time has been negated a little bit by Myers, plays on, kicks long inside 50, the direction of Edwards. Good spoil from Brett. Ball went to ground. Densley went in, handballed it back to Lahure, kicked it high up and under, out to the wing. Good mark taken by Joel Cadman on the back line of the centre square. So Joel Cadman with the footy, going to go sideways and find a teammate in Freeman. Freeman has the ball. He's got a teammate up the line in Tanner. Did he keep it in?
Nope.
Umpire says no. Free kick to Jack Banbury for Sebas.
So Banbury the beneficiary on true centre wing broadcast side as it was sent at the full by Freeman. Gets in a bit of a tangle as they did well to guard the mark. Initially did Darley. Handball received, got it 1-2. We did Banbury to thump it inside forward 50 towards full forward. Brett's been massive behind the footy in this term, particularly brings it to ground. And the pressure by Sebas will hold things up at the 3.5-minute mark of the third term, deep inside forward 50. Had a lot of entries this term, it feels, Brad McGowan, for no major damage to Sebastopol. And they get a wriggle on with the breeze to skip away from Darley. They'll clear with the Devils. It'll be George with the clearing kick. Banbury's been big in this term. Not paid the mark, though.
What?
Did everything but hang on, said the umpire. And in the end, we'll get a stoppage just outside 50 for Sebas now, as they still lead by 3 points in the Metro score, but the last 4 goals of the game have gone the way of Darley.
Yeah, Darley doing a better job of navigating the ball out of defence. They've been turning that ball over a lot in the first half, not so much this half.
Joel Cadman gets the ball out of the stoppage, kicks in the direction of Azzopardi, gets support from Matricardi. Handball over the top to Steegstra, back to Matricardi, inside 50, kick, missed the target. Able to get back was Jacob Williamson, cleared the ball outside 50. Omahoff might have been pushed in the back. Umpire said no. The ball trickles out
of zone. Umpires paid the hold. So there you go.
Well, no more comments from the umpiring from me. But in the end, Omahoff will take the free kick.
Yeah, people weren't complaining, so it must have happened.
So Curtin will go towards full back to find Jacob Wilkinson, and will have his long sleeve brother and Stewart to find inside defensive 50. Stewart will chip it over the top. Kick's going to be good to Banbury. Will take the mark. Can they create the overlap run with O'Shea? Again, Darley doing well to guard the mark with the stand and the corridor. So Sebastopol having to just work the lines. Sits on the head of Toby Hutt, which is always a good option. He couldn't hang on. Coming through was Duncan. Cadman did well. Finds Lockie George. And now the Devils go the other way. Can they take the lead? Mark taken in the middle of the ground there by Azzopardi. Holds things up initially, sells a bit of full candy on the mark, takes one bounce as Andy Azzopardi. He breaks away to 50, chips it the full forward, and Tanner juggled it, but he took the mark. Almost had an absolute mare of a moment, but Javen Tanner takes the mark directly in front and should put Darley in front for the first time this afternoon.
Well, Taver's opponent was fooled by the play on the mark. He tried to read the ball carrier's eyes. It looked as if he was going across the ground. His opponent left, and then because he was able to get round the man on the mark and straighten up, it meant that Tanner just stayed where he was. His opponent wasn't there, and he took a mark on his knees.
Midway through the third term against the Breeze, 2 goals down at half-time for Dan Jordan's men. They come out, they kick 3 in a row and take the lead for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, and it's been an interesting sort of comeback, hasn't it? They've just started to play better Darley footy, I guess, and Sebastopol's pressure just doesn't seem to be quite at the same level as it was in that first half. They were very physical and very aggressive in the first half. It's backed off that 5 to 10%, and that's been enough for Darley's good ball users to get hold of the footy.
16, nearly 17 minutes played in the third quarter. If you've just joined us, Sebastopol got out to an early lead with the aid of a breeze in the first quarter. Darley bit back and got within 2 goals at half-time, and for the first time in the game, they're now in front after that goal from Tanner. Play back underway in the middle. Little Hales in the ruck for Sebastopol, one out, but Darley going to get the clearance through. Luther Baker kicks long forward. Lockyer found himself in the front position for Sebastopol. Henderson Rover came back to Lockyer for Sebastopol, over to Cassidy. Handball long to Medwell, who was free. Kicks inside 50 for Sebastopol. Misses the target. Getting back to take a strong mark is the veteran Duncan Cadman. Goes in short, finds a teammate in Lahure. He plays on quickly, comes out looking for Bewley. Kick was a poor one. The veteran was able to win the ball back, though. Tackle quickly. It'll be a ball up right in front of the Sebastopol bench here at Marty Bush Reserve. The margin, just 3 points on the Metro scoreboard.
Sebastopol are over kicking their kicks inside 50. Just putting that extra 5 metres on it. Looks like a blood rule here.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a blood rules to lure break in play. We'll get our man Tristan Ashmore to let us know what's going on the benches in just a second.
Benches are good, boys. Just Wilkinson is still down for Sebastopol.
Yeah, with, of course, a bit of an issue with his knee. As we'll get a restart in play. True broadcast side. The 2 number 10s, Myers and Littlehales. Myers down to Hind. Left foot kick around the body, gains 10 metres so. Towards Hatcher, who'll be walked over the line there by Ben Hutt. Right in front, this is the best seats in the house. Thanks to good friends at D2E Gym. From Valacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E.
A few droplets of rain starting to drop around here, Marty Bush, boys. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, the weather comes into it. We'll favour the side in front, probably the side with the breeze in a final term in Darley. And saying that, there has been a bit of a drop of the breeze in this quarter. You can distinctly feel it in the commentary box with the windows open as George gave it off there towards White. Left foot kick was a blind 1.5 foot Hutt batting back. He will take the mark of the Ben variety. Was called into it nicely by his coach. He looks to access the corridor. Balls, he kicks, set a task. In the end, Joel Cadman's no one up for it. He takes the intercept mark for Darley. He's been huge in this term as Joel, and he thumps it towards full forward. Looking for Tanner. 1, 2, 3, got it again! Mark of the day, Javen Tanner.
Yeah, beautiful mark. And as you said, Cadman has been brilliant. Falling backwards, Tanner. As you said, first touch, second touch, third touch, as he was hitting the ground, the old-fashioned falling grab, then able to hold above his head and say, yes, I took it.
We'll see that one on the highlights reels for the socials throughout the week. You feel just a wonderful juggling mark for Javen Tanner. To make it his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Darley's remarkably now 6th in a row. He comes in, he pops it through. The Devils skip away to 10 goals, 7-67 on the Metro scoreboard. So stuck on those 8 goals now, 8-10, 58.
Wow. is it really 6 in a row for Darley? This whole thing has changed since they had a change in the ruck and put Billy Myers in there, because Darley continue to win the ball at the stoppage. Even if Billy Myers doesn't win the tap, Toby Hutt might win it. He'll hit it forward. But Lockie George has been very good as an inside mid as well now. And you've got Bewley, Baker, Hind all around that stoppage. They're just winning the ball, and it's constantly going inside 50. And the Sebastopol defenders, although they might have been on top early in the game, they're certainly not anymore.
Around the grounds for Go Vita, Bacchus Marsh 10-5-65, leads Sunbury 7-6-48, Redan 6-10-46, trail North Ballarat 10-6-66. Play resumes in the middle of the ground. Hind, who's been super, particularly since quarter time, takes one bounce and runs straight through the middle of the ground, kicks forward. Lockyer intercepts for Sebastopol. Beautiful pick up from Tony Lockyer. Handball over the top to Henderson, who's found himself in some space. Goes in short, looking for Forbes, but Cassidy jumped in front of him. You might have heard the grimace from Brad McGowan. That was because it looked like there was going to be a collision. And look at the work rate from Tony Lockyer. So Cassidy has kicked it to Tony Lockyer, who is part of that initial pick-up at half-back and has worked really hard, 150 metres down the ground to mark inside 50.
Yep, good call. He started 30 metres out from his own goal, left his opponent, got the footy, forward handball, told everyone in front of him what to do with it all the way through, and eventually it was give it back to me.
We talk about the importance of a captain's goal. How about a coach's goal to break a run of 6 in a row from the Devils? Tony Lockyer will shoot from just outside 50 with a tightish angle to work against. Distance won't be a problem, you feel. Right foot kicks on its way. Looks good at the boot. I like it. And so does Tony.
What a goal.
He pops it through. Breaks the run of 6 in a row. The Borough get one back here. The Marty Bush Reserve 9-10. 64 to 10 goals, 7-67.
Youngie, you said the importance of it. Well, just the number of players that went to him then, the feeling around the ground. You could hear the car horns. It was just like, yeah, we can still do this, because they had gone quiet. 6 in a row for Darley does that to you. Sebastopol still are playing good footy. They've just got to continue to get back to the pressure that they were putting on in that first half.
So just the other game around the grounds for Go Vita, Lake Wendouree 5-1-31 trail, East Point 11-14-80.
Looks like the Kangas will get their first win of season 2026 if all things stay the same there at the C.E. Brown Reserve. Hutt off to Cassidy, off to Lockyer. Right foot kick towards half forward. Henderson did well to get his direct opponent, or he didn't, said the umpire. I thought he had eyes on the footy. I don't think there was a lot of contact, but I guess it's saying that Darley haven't had a great run, so they're probably a bit of a square up, if you will, as they go towards the corridor kick to George. Strong mark from Lockie. Right foot kick will go towards half forward to the hot hand of Tanner. He takes the mark just inside the paint, and I think he should just take his 30 here, boys, and sit up to the top of the square, although he wants to go quickly, because he liked the mismatch. Lockyer with the fist, brings it to the ground. Buckley walks over the line for a minor rush behind. So 10-8-68 on the Metro scoreboard to Sebastian's 9-10-64. And he has a licence. He likes a barrel. What will Buckley do, Roger LeGrand?
I'm thinking you're right. He has that licence. He's going to go down the middle. He steps outside the goal square. And look out, torpedo, here it comes. And he manages to get the torpedo out. Not direction, though. Brett in the middle of the ground for Darley. Did he throw it? Umpire said no. Tapped it in the direction of a teammate as a party. Fletcher jumped in to pass. As a party kicked dangerously off the ground. Cassidy in there as his Hutt. Fletcher under pressure came back to Cassidy. All of a sudden, caught is Fletcher for Sebastopol. He was run down from behind, and the free kick's going to go the way of Nick Hind. And is he having a quarter? Nick Hind, the ex-AFL player for Essendon and St Kilda. He's inside the centre square for Darley, goes in short, finds a teammate in Azapati, that is. He's outside 50, goes into the pocket. Mr. Everywhere, Jack Bewley's by himself, dropped the mark, handball back to Azapati. He came inboard towards the centre of the ground. Lockyer could have been paid a free kick, and the umpire said, yep, should be. Advantage paid. Cassidy will clear out of defence.
Supposed to get the half back to Henderson, but he would like that moment again with a slight fumble. Good enough to get rid of his direct opponent. To Keel, he just handballed it right into the breadbasket there of Cadman. In the end, the stoppage is a result. Sebastian at half back, trailing by 4 points on the Metro scoreboard. Couldn't exit cleanly from the clearing kick from Banbury. And a half forward for Darley. Can they get another one late? One there by Tanner. Bewley coming through. Tanner's been massive in this term off the hind. Ducks and weeds through traffic. At the back to Cadman, who's been also the real barometer to start this. Sends it inside. 50 Johnson at the back. Lockyer backing back for Sebastopol. Almost took the mark. Cassidy spits it back with a hot footy in the hut direction. O'Shea, strong on the hips initially. Right foot kicks right up and under. It's going to be very close to the line. Brett Billy marking anyway.
Great mark.
The opposing captains went head-to-head there, Bewley and Ben Hart. And against the breeze, tucked up in the boundary line, Brett Bewley will shoot for goal.
It's a hard shot for Brett Bewley for the Darley Devils. He is going to kick from, 49 metres out. He's out of bounds, standing against the fence post right now.
So Bewley, Mr. Impossible with the left foot kick, needs to draw back, won't get it. It's across the face, no score. Myers maybe could have had an opportunity for one over the shoulder against Hart. Still alive for Darley. Handballs off to Azapati. His kick's not going to make the distance, but it's a centre one to the top of the square. Henderson couldn't mark for Sebas. Cassidy flicks it to Buckley, sidestep away from the tackle. Down to Bennett, he's caught. He got it back to Buckley, and he just gets it the hell out of there. Thumps a high ball. Brett in position A, could take the mark, boards the deck. The hot hand of Forbes. Can he make something happen at ground level? White goes to Luray. Well done to the Darley defence. Brett looks corridor bound. Kick's going to be good. It's slipped through the Freeman's grass. Turnover maybe. Bambury's got the handball of the kill, was smashed both ways. Darley come away to Edwards. Into the corridor they go. As a party around the body, bouncing ball. Tanner in front of Hart. Got the unkind bounce. Toby Hutt will come away with it. His right foot kick's good. He finds the teammate Minari.
Ashmanara in the middle of the ground for Sebas. His teammates are saying, get it inside 50. We've got players down there, and he does just that long kick, but in the end, kicked it to no one, and Matthew Brett able to get back and take the mark for Darley. Darley on the move now. They're moving the ball very quickly. Andrew Azapati takes the mark. Takes one bounce, takes two, ends up handballing to Matricati. Andrew Azapati was met after he got rid of the footy, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of Matricati. Down the field free kick, although you couldn't really call that down the field. It almost went sideways. So Matricati, Darcy, right in front of his own coach's box. Ends up going long down the line. Tony Lockyer, the veteran, just used his body so well then against his Darley opponent in Bewley and took what in the end was a pretty easy mark. So Tony Lockyer, he'll be a contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. Have no doubt about that. He dangerously kicks across goal, but finds a teammate in the end, and Little Hales, who's been pretty quiet by his usual stands this afternoon, takes the mark. He comes short to Ben Hutt. He's been good this afternoon for Sebas. He's inside the centre of the square. He goes short, finds a teammate. So Sebas purposely going small. Going slow. Hutt got the 1-2 and then turned the ball over. Luckily enough, Fletcher was there. He went on the left boot forward. Billy Myers, who's drifted back behind play, takes a strong mark on his chest.
Darley looking so good behind the footy in this term. Myers kick in the Edwards direction. Didn't have to break stride. Takes the mark. Will chip it to the required 15 over top to find Matricati. Feigns the hand pass back to Edwards, and he'll now go to half forward. Slipping over was Wilkinson, but in the end did enough to negate his opponent in hind. Little Hales, high ball down the line, will be out in the full. Free kick coming up for the Devils as we've gone 28 minutes. Darley have the lead going against the breeze. Darcy Matricati will send him into attack as we approach this three-quarter time siren. The umpire says 50 metres against Tony Lockyer, who asks the question, what for?
He didn't put his foot on the line. Now, in Tony's defence, the umpire was shouting that from 20 metres away in front of the vocal Sebastian Darley crowd. And I'm sure if Tony heard that, he would have gone and put his foot on the line.
The square up's the 35-metre penalty, not the 50, because Matricati was on true centre wing. He's now 45 metres out, so I wouldn't be buying land from that umpire, but he goes to the required 15 with a short pass. There's a party inside 50. Or is it Cadman, sorry?
Yeah, well, less said about that, the better, Sam.
So Joel Cadman, who I think is in real contention for the Sporting Globe Player today, he has been massive, particularly in this third term. Him and Matthew Brett behind the footy, Brad McGowan, have really shaped and cultivated the Devils back into leading this game. And we're right behind this kick from 45 metres out. Joel Cadman, right foot kick, never looked like missing.
Beautiful kick straight through the middle. And as you've said, Cadman has been so good all over the field. His contested work in the air and at ground level. He's just looked so strong and assured in every contest that, and he's been protecting teammates. He's just been an ultimate teammate, really. Yes, he's got plenty of the footy. yes, his midfielders have had more of it than him, but he's been able to either intercept or then go forward, as you've seen there, and kick goals. So, yep, Cadman a star.
He's been fantastic this afternoon, and as you heard, a contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. Only 30 minutes played in the third quarter at Marty Bush. It's been a quarter dominated by by Darley, as the Borough trying to win the ball through the middle. Stewart to Hutt. Kick high up and under. Will land just outside 50. No mark taken. Ball hits the ground. Edwards, who's been good for Darley, knocks the ball over his head. Henderson leads in the race of the ball, and it looks like he'll manage to just keep it in. No, the boundary umpire says the ball beat him. It'll be a throw up in front of the Darley Devils box here at Marty Bush Reserve.
It's worth mentioning that player we were just talking about, Joel Cadman, has run from half forward to half back and is now a spare defender to finish off the quarter for Darley.
Yeah, smart move there, just trying to clog things up as we're into the dying embers of the third term. Ball in, shallow throw in. Reaching over top there was Little Hales, but the wrap around by Lockie George was super. High ball now towards half forward. Thank you, Ian. That will do us for the third term here at the Marty Bush Reserve. A complete turnaround as Darley slammed home 5 goals in that term to make it 11 goals, 8-74 on the Metro scoreboard to lead Sebast 9-10-64 to Tony Locke's men. Have a rabbit in the hat. Can they do it against the breeze? We'll find out. We'll get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put him in front.
Bloods, who's at centre half forward and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous spot in the left forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy to Fulton, outstretched hands. How's the gather from Pittard? Took a bounce on the cricket pitch, if you don't mind. Kicked it to a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back-to-back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chester McLean loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable.
With no stamp duty and we keep the capital gains, that made it an easy yes.
Lucas Lifestyle Estate for over 50s in Ballarat. Discover more. Search Lucas Life.
Need a bigger bed? Right now at Bedshed Ballarat, choose any size mattress and you'll only pay the price of a single. That's any size mattress from leading brands including Tempur, Sealy and Sleepmaker, and you'll only pay the single price. Plus get a bonus 30% off any bed frame with your mattress purchase. And for this week only, get free local delivery. T's and C's apply. Visit the bedroom experts at Howard Street, Wendouree today. Bedshed Ballarat. No one's better in the bedroom.
This end of financial year, make it a Mercedes-Benz. Until June 30, enjoy exceptional offers across a wide selection of Mercedes-Benz models, including savings equivalent to the GST on the sporty A-Class, the versatile GLC and the iconic E-Class. Confidence and innovation, now with outstanding value. So make it a Mercedes-Benz this end of financial year. Visit Mercedes-Benz Ballarat. Terms and conditions apply. LMCT 11056.
If you're a Ballarat employer or business keen to connect with local talent, don't miss the Ballarat Jobs and Training Expo, the region's biggest workforce event. Friday, July 24 at the Goods Shed, Ballarat. With over 80 organisations and more than 2,000 attendees expected, it's your chance to showcase your organisation, secure a stand before spots run out, or sponsor this major event. Book now at ballaratjobsandtrainingexpo.com.au.
You would if you could live a life like me, with rivers, trees, and sweet warm breeze, and Woodstock from Kentucky.
Live the wood life with Woodstock Bourbon and Cola. 18 plus, drink responsibly.
And they're off and racing at the Green Horse Equine and Pet Laundry. Out of the gates, it's dropping your smelly pet laundry off, hugging the rails with Let the Green Horse Equine and Pet Laundry sprinkle their magic, charging up the middle. Holy moly, that's clean is gaining ground and weight. Specialising in horse rug washing, waterproofing and repairs is nearing the end. But finally, Clean Rugs ready for collection makes the break for the finish line at 33 Harold Street, Wendouree. Racing today to the Green Horse Equine and Pet Laundry.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Johnson the deepest in the square. We know he likes a good run and jump at it, has good hops. Might give him an opportunity with a high ball in the Johnson direction. From 3 deep, Johnson, he just didn't hang on. Ground level, Watkins, left foot stab. Got the perfect bounce, would you believe it? And he kicks his second, chips it the ball forward, and Tanner chuckled it, but he took the mark. Midway through the third term against the Breeze, 2 goals down. At half-time for Dan Jordan's men, they come out, they kick 3 in a row and take the lead for the first time this afternoon. Yes, welcome back to 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E's. We're going to cross down straight to our man Tristan Ashmore, who's been listening into the Sebastopol huddle, but also has an update on Sam Wilkinson, who looks like he's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, probably the big talking point late from that third quarter, boys. Sam Wilkinson is out, so Sebastopol will be playing 1 down this fourth quarter. Tony Lockyer was happy with his effort in Brett Bewley, and he just wanted a bit of calm from his troops. He wanted longer entries, but his main thing was the wind was dead. This is game on.
The wind is dead, thank you very much. Tristan Ashmore, boundary side. And for One Life Insurance, we've got Brad McGowan's thoughts from that third quarter where the Devils were able to pile on 5 goals against the Breeze. Well, there is no Breeze. The wind is dead, and the Borough have to try to turn it around this final quarter.
Yeah, well, Sebastopol just found it quite hard to score, really. Roger, what was the score since quarter time?
Yeah, 9 goals to 3 in favour of Darley. So, yeah, just the 2 goals to Darley. They kicked 9 goals since, and just the 3 for the Borough.
Yeah, so and part of that has just been the Darley defence. Like Joel Edwards, the Sebastopol centre-half forward, he's had really limited impact, and he's been a significant goal kicker. He might be one of, if not the leading goal kicker of the competition at the moment. He's been well held by Matthew Brett, the Darley full-back. What's been happening to help Matthew Brett is that the delivery hasn't been very good by Sebastopol. They've often been kicking it over Joel Edwards' head. And then you've also got Duncan Cadman back there, Zane Lahoure. They're just working as a team to either intercept market or get the ball to ground. And in the first quarter, if the ball came to ground, Sebastopol's pressure was so good that they would still be able to either win it at ground level themselves or put good pressure on Darley. That pressure's dropped off. Darley are now being able to exit out of defensive 50, and Sebastopol just finding it really difficult to score.
Around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store. Bacchus Marsh 10-6-66. Still in front of Sunbury by 17 points, 7-7-49. Melton 6-4-40, leading Ballarat 4-6-30. Redan 6-10-46, trail North Ballarat 12-6-78. And the other game this afternoon, Lake Wendouree, their highest score for the season, 7-2-44. East Point 12-15-87. Here's Sam Young to start the last quarter, thanks to D2E Gyms.
It's been a cracker. It's been a blockbuster. It's lived up to the billing. And we're underway here at the Marty Bush Reserve again for the final turn, with Hutt getting the first knockdown for Sebastopol. But Hind, right foot kick, will get the opening clearance towards the vacant half forward line. Bouncing ball. Bewley wraps around to his left side. Keel watching him closely all afternoon. Ball spills out. Coming through. And as Myers is bear hugged and gone. And a good little moment for Medwell, and the crowd gets up and about, and that's what Sebastopol need to build on, some momentum, get the fans involved, get the big guns involved. Keel, one of them, he takes the mark. Defensive side centre wing on the outer side. The former coach can go Truesdale back to Buckley. Wants to go further to Wilkinson as they have the spare, and Curtin, he's going to be good with the kick. He almost getting down the mark, and in the end he's overcooked. Now the Curtin touch it? No, he did not. Lasso free kick, massive turnover. Darley will go to half forward. Short pass should find target. The mark's taken there by Tanner to go out to score.
Outside 50. Been very good this afternoon. Tanner for Darley. Kicks inside 50, and Buckley felt the pressure coming for Sebastopol. Picked it up. Handball to Lockyer. Was he taken high? Umpire says yes. It'll be a free kick to Sebastopol. Around 25 metres from the Darley goal. The coach for Sebastopol, Tony Lockyer, has been super this afternoon. Takes the free kick. Comes across the ground to his captain in Ben Hutt. He kicks the ball up the line, finds Luke Keel for Sebastopol on the back line of the centre square, comes inboard looking for Medwell. Medwell marks strongly overhead, plays on quickly. Sebastopol running through the middle of the ground. Hommelhoff ball in hand, back to Hart, onwards to Cassidy. He's outside 50 for Sebastopol, goes inside 50 looking for Henderson, who's drifted forward. No mark taken, was able to recover and pick the ball up, go onto his left boot, kick the ball high up and under, that'll bring rain. Pack will fall, ball will go. Cassidy nearly grabbed it on the chest, but in the end, Myers thumped it free. Lahoure under pressure for Darley, kicks it outside 50, and Darley will clear, but only temporarily.
Good at mark, but got it towards O'Shea, got the hands free and sends it backwards to Lockyer. He'll chip it over the required 15, sets it on the head of Hommelhoff. It spills at the back, and did anyone touch it? Yes. We're going to get a boundary throw in. Matricardi having a little look and saying, was it off hands? Do I get a lasso? Umpire says no. We're going to ball it in, 2 minutes in, final term. Game on the line. Next goal, massive. 9-10-64, Sebas trailing Darley 11-8-74 on the Metro scoreboard. Ball at half forward for Sebas. Shallow throw in will favour Hutt. It spills it towards Cassidy instead. Right foot kick to full forward. Big fist from White, brought it down. Bewley overran it. Forbes coming through, was caught in the Bewley tackle. We'll get a stoppage 35, 40 metres out maybe.
28 for Bewley today, boys.
There's still a chance for Bingo.
He is. No goals and not enough clearances, though, at the moment.
It's still a chance. You're telling me there's a chance, Macca. Tap lefty 54. Sebas and Cassidy flicked it in the direction of Edwards, who put his team under pressure. Brett, who's been super, spits it wide towards the boundary line. Matricardi against Stewart. And high tackle, says the umpire. Free kick will go the way. Matricardi, fair grimace as he's hit the turf. I just wonder if he's twisted that knee awkwardly. Stewart looking for Henderson. Hits the deck. Ball live inside forward 50. And stoppage the result is... Just keep an eye on Matricardi here. He hasn't moved since that tackle.
Sebastian need to change it up here. They've got Felix Henderson, the on-ball, resting at full forward. He's no good on the lead. They've got to put Joel Edwards back to full forward. They've got to get him into the game.
Myers won the hit out. Baker sharked it for Darley. Kick long on the left boot up centre wing. Pack will fly. Johnson taps the ball for Darley forward. As a party leads in the race for the ball, can't pick up cleanly. He'll go out of bounds right on the centre wing in front of the Darley coach's box. We've played 3 minutes in the last quarter, and the margin is 10 points.
They're poor there by Sebas. They had the spare down the line, and the spare got sucked into the marking contest, and that's no good. The ball hits the deck and just spills out of bounds. You need to be active and proactive when you have that spare player around the footy.
Certainly do, Sam Young. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Myers used his body well for Darley, kicked the ball forward, but missed the target, and Curtin gets back to take the mark. He's had a busy afternoon. Has Curtin for Sebas. In the end, he goes backwards to Wilkinson, who comes across the face of goal for Sebastopol and finds Buckley, the boy from St. Joey's. He plays on, takes a bounce, kicks it up centre wing for Sebastopol. Lockyer very cleverly taps it over his head in the direction of Little Hales. The ball will have a bounce over the line and be a boundary throw-in out in the outer side here at Marty Bush Reserve.
Yeah, Lockyer was outnumbered in the air, wasn't he? But he knew that Little Hales was goal side, just couldn't keep it in bounds. Would have set up a nice thrust forward.
Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance with his thoughts there for the clever play by the coach of Sebas. Just didn't pay off on this occasion. Ball's virtually opposite from our broadcast position on true centre wing on the outside. Myers with the tap for Darley. Only goes as far as Medwell. Right foot kick over the top. Will go towards the coach and Lockyer. Does have to break stride. He'll go inside 50. Looking for the Little Hales. Drop one he would normally take. In the end, it's off his hands and off Forbes' hands and out of bounds. Just almost centimetre perfect, Brad McGowan, but he couldn't hang on, could Cooper.
Well, that's been the story of the second and third quarter, really. The Sebas forward line just haven't been able to have an impact.
Inside forward 50. Myers with the tap. Hind with the clearing kick. Bouncing ball in the Edwards direction. Lockyer will have 2 to beat. George with strength. No surprise. He'll get away from the whoopie tackler. Thump it down the line. Johnson and Wilkinson. Wilkinson did well, actually. That pointed him in the air nicely. Handball quickly off there to Buckley. Turns on the afterburners. They look to access the corridor. Lockyer handballs it to himself. Then tried the volleyball spike over the shoulder. But went right into the grass there, Hind. And he's off to the races with 2 bounces. Nick Hind will send it inside forward 50. The Tanner!
The crowd said it all. Tanner, good mark. He was able to read the ball. It actually came off Hind's foot sort of incorrectly. It looked like the kick should have gone 40 metres. It only sort of went 25 up and down. Tanner was able to judge it quickly, come back towards the ball and take a mark.
Feels like it's been a breakout game for Tanner this afternoon. We've always known of his promise, but against quality opposition, he has 3. Lines up for number 4 for Darley. Goal umpire doesn't move. And Darley have their 12th. 12 goals, 880. Handy 16-point break over Sebas, 9-10-64 on the Metro scoreboard. Brad McGowan Sebas needed an answer.
Yeah, well, Sebas had the ball inside their forward half for the last 5 or 6 minutes. They just couldn't score, and that's been the case, that the Darley backline has got on top. When Sebas have so many tall forwards, I'm just not sure they've got the structure right. I believe their best tall forward is Edwards, but he's at centre-half forward, and the ball's constantly kicked over his head. I think he needs to get deeper, because Sebas seem to be able to get the ball in deep enough to that area, and it's going to players that are constantly getting beaten.
It was the fall in love with the handball receive and trying to get Meter's game with that handball that really got him undone there, Sebas, as they worked into an awkward spot in the middle of the ground and turnover goal. Little Hales with the tap for Sebas and wins it forward, but Bewley gets the ball, initially a handball back to himself. Hutt breaks it up to Medwell. Gee, he's been good. Welcome back, Bailey, as he thumps it towards full forward. Hutt's coming across, couldn't take the mark of the Toby variety. Only went with the one Duke. Brett on his hammer, and a good tackle by the vice-captain and assistant coach, Matty Brett, to lock things up in contention for Sporting Globe Player of the Day honours. That's how good his game's been behind the footy on Joel Edwards after 7.5 minutes in the final term. It's Darley by 16 points on the Metro scoreboard. Toby Hutt wins it down into the corridor. Hind coming through, couldn't gather. Him and Bewley actually fought for the same footy. Banbury stepped through a whoopie tackler, broke the tackle, right foot kick, goal and eggs into Jack Banbury, thank you very much. And it gives the Boroughs a life.
They just needed a lift in some way. Banbury, as we've said, has been getting plenty of the ball, but hasn't been able to find space. His fend-off was great. Quick feet then to be able to sidestep and get the shot on goal. All of a sudden, there's a bit of energy back around Marty Bush Reserve. Sebas trying to get their way back into this game.
10-10-70 Sebas, trail by 10 points, 12-8-80 Darley on the Metro scoreboard. And the clock ticks over 8 minutes. If you've just joined us, it was a 23-point margin at quarter time to Sebas, but since then it's been all Darley. Sebas getting their one back to within 10 points. Umpires found a free kick in the middle of the ground. I don't think he even knows which way it's going to go, but in the end he just crosses the coin in the air and gives it to Little Hales, who plays on quickly for Sebas, kicks it long forward. Brett, ball came off hands, wasn't a mark. Handball's out in the direction of Cadman. Bewley came in first for Darley and picked it up. His handball missed the target. Medwell went in for Sebas, tackled very strongly. It'll be a ball up inside 50.
I think the umpire paid the Myers cross the line in the ruck, but to be honest, I don't know.
It must have been a very line ball free kick. That's all I'll say. As ball thrown in the air on the 50-metre line. Sebastopol into the ground. Medwell for Sebas. Round one, round two handball to Keel. Onwards to Ben Hutt. He needs this. Ben Hutt. He's going to get it. He is! The ball within 4 points!
Good work at the stoppages there. They just started to get their hands on the first possession at those stoppages. Instead of the ball necessarily being hit forward all the time, they've actually hit it backwards. Darley always have their players on the defensive side of the stoppage. Well done by Sebas to realise, hey, why don't we hit it backwards to where all our numbers are? They're then able to work the ball through traffic. And there's life, boys. There is life.
Bang, bang, go the Borough. And the captain's goal to Ben Hutt. That's now a 4-point margin, well called by Roger LeGrand.
Matt Riccardi back on for Darley now, boys. Just looks to be winded, but he's back out there on the wing.
Thank you very much. Tristan Ashmore doing fine work on the boundary line. And we're off to the races again. Myers just takes it out the middle, ran into the brick wall of Medwell. Somehow got it away, said the umpire. And Medwell's caught the tackle now by Darley. Spills out from the tackle. Umpire puts the whistle away. High ball did it go to 15. Hind just fisted forward for the Devils as it now enters forward 50. Lockyer desperate on hands and knees, shovel the hand pass. It clears only as far as Matt Riccardi. He puts it out in front of Hind to run onto. Tries to get away from the would-be tackler. Goes that left boot and finds the target. Yes! Mark, free kick, take your pick. Seager will be lining up for goal. And for the biggest kick of his young career, he'll lie for his second for the afternoon.
It's going to be reversed.
It's reversed. Would you believe it? I was going to my stat sheet. I was having a look, and then Lockyer's gone the ground. Free kick to Sebas. And the crowd's up and about. They want 50.
I thought for sure that'd be 50, boys. Was nowhere near him.
Yeah, the ball wasn't thrown back on the floor, but Tony Lockyer for Sebas ends up having a free kick inside defensive 50.
He worked that very well, did Lockyer, to win that free kick. Ball comes to Cassidy to Keel, round one. The veteran still got it. He kicks long towards half forward for Sebas. Fletcher's out in front, takes the mark. Will that turnover or that reverse free kick prove costly for Darley? Sebas have the ball outside 50 in the hands of Fletcher. He kicks long inside 50 in the direction of Minari and Hutt. Minari's got it!
A block still to Sebas, though.
I'm not sure what's going on. It's going to go the way of Hutt in the end. So Minari took the mark, and the umpires found a blocking free kick, and it's going to go to Sebastopol, to Toby Hutt, to line up for goal number 3 for the afternoon.
And to put the Borough back in front. Tanner Gold at about the 5-6 minute mark in this term. We thought, the Borough might be in trouble here. 16 points. They got a couple quick ones. Now, arguably one of the best players this afternoon, Toby Hutt, will line up for his third. And to put Sebas in front, coming in. I'll let the crowd do the work. They're happy, and the Borough are happy. They're in front. 12 goals, 10-82 on the Metro scoreboard. Darley 12-10-80. What a game of footy we're having here. Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance.
Well, that was a massive reversal. Darley had a free kick and shot on goal from 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Tony Lockyer, the captain for Sebas, got felled. I don't know exactly how it happened, but he ended up on his backside right in front of the umpire. So it was a reversal. Sebas get the ball, transition the length of the ground. They get a goal instead of Darley getting a goal. Sebas now lead by 2 points.
What a game of footy, Roger LeGrand, we have here. Grandstand finish on 3BA Footy's home ground thanks to D2E Gyms.
A super game, Sam Young, and beautifully called. Myers actually fell over in that ruck duel, so Darley had to work overtime to win the ball back. Bewley's handball missed a target. Tackle laid on the Sebas player, and it's going to be a ball up. That's in the Sebas half of the ground. Medwell's kind of up the ante for Sebas in that last 5 minutes, the inside midfielder. Umpire throws the ball in the air. Myers for Darley won the hit out, went straight to ground. It's going to be another ball up. So play is on the 50-metre line. Sebas end of the ground. They lead by 2 points on the Metro scoreboard. We've played 13 minutes into the last quarter. Plenty of players around the footy. Strong tackle laid from Bewley from Darley. It's going to be another ball up. So stoppage after stoppage. Brad McGowan. Who can win the clearance?
Yeah, plenty of numbers around. It's becoming more contested.
Myers and Little Howes. Little Howes one out. Snap from Sebas goes forward. Would only have gone 20 metres and jostling for position. But there's the class of Bewley from Darley getting back to take a courageous chest mark against a group of forwards running at him. And Brett Bewley, the star of the competition, plays on the left boot, but he's missed his target. Turns straight over to Sebas on centre wing.
How brave's Ben Hutt? He chips it towards Sanar Ford. Cassie's got to sit and wait. In the end, he'll be paid the juggling mark. Did he play on? No, umpire's going to call him back over. Did Edwards break things up? Well, I don't know. Hutt's on the move! And Toby Hutt will take the mark. He's gone forward. Lil Hales went into the ruck to start things up here, Brad McGowan. He's posing a real threat.
Yeah, he's got Matthew Brett on him now, and they end up getting a good block from Joel Edwards, his other key forward mate. Hutt looks dangerous, though, and finally they're able to lower their eyes and hit him on a lead. The delivery inside forward 50 for Sebas hasn't been good for most of the afternoon. It was, and it's the right time.
Toby Hutt for goal number 4, and for a little buffer on the Metro scoreboard. For 4 in a row for the Borough. Hutt comes in. He's got underneath that one slightly. Is it marked on the line? No, it's over the line, says the goal umpire. A minus score. 12 goals, 11. That's 83 with my abacus. Sebas in front of Darley's 12-10-80.
Just a little bit too close to the man on the mark. So, as you said, had to sky it a bit too high. End up missing it.
So Bewley plays on out of fullback for Darley, comes straight up the middle and finds George. Drop what he should have taken for Darley. Ball comes in. Steegstra was met high, no free kick. Ball went to ground. Hutt knocked it out for Sebas. Buckley went in, picked it up, was tackled strongly. No prior opportunity. It's going to be ball up in the middle of the ground. Steegstra unlucky not to win a free kick for Darley there. Was met high. Umpire said play on. Umpire Brent Irvin throws the ball in the air. Hit out one by Myers for Darley. Came to Fletcher. He was tackled straight away and another ball up. So it's just on the Sebas side of the centre circle. They're doing all the attacking at the moment. They lead by 3 points. Myers one out to no real advantage. Went back down to ground. It's going to be another ball up.
So 15 minutes gone in this enthralling battle.
What a final turn we've had thus far. It could go either way. Neutral territory, just trying to rush it forward was Cooper Lil Hales. Keel, inboard to Henderson, step through traffic, spearing pass, marks taken by Edwards. First time he's had a one-on-one win against Matty Brett, and it could have come at a bigger moment for the big boy from Geelong.
Beautiful kick by Felix, though. Just lowered his eyes and was able to just put it out in front of him. It meant that Brett couldn't get a big jumping spoil. That's the sort of delivery he's been asking for all day, but it's been sat on his head.
Joel Edwards directly in front will kick right on the 50-metre arc. He starts his approach now. Right foot kicks on its way from Edwards. It won't make the distance. On the line, almost was hot. It's still alive, Sebas. Darley getting the train hand pass. Magicardi off the white. Left foot kick will clear D50 for the moment. Big ball be won. Henderson will lead the race. Send it inside 50 for Sebas. To a contest. Back and back is Mason! Liam Mason, welcome back. Backing back with courage and takes the contested mark in front of Billy Myers. Would you believe it?
And Myers instantly knew, didn't he? He should have punched instead of going for the mark. His hands went to his head. He knew that he should have punched that.
He's a tough kid. He really didn't deserve to mark that. He was out of position, but just back, took the mark, and the Sebas faithful are up and about. Tough kick for the young kid, though.
Spud Mason, arguably the biggest kick of his life. Left foot one's on its way! And the Borough move to 13-11-89 here at the Marty Bush Reserve on the Metro scoreboard.
Well, he's been waiting for his moment. He's a young fella that does have plenty of heart. He's been dominating the twos, and that's his moment to put Sebas now in front by 9 points.
Whew. What a quarter of 3BA footy for D2E gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E. We've seen it all this afternoon. A genuine footy arm wrestle. Is there another chapter to this tale? Who knows? There's certainly still time. 18 minutes on the Metro scoreboard gone. Tanner now in the ruck for Darley. He won it out. Bewley not able to pick up cleanly. Cassidy, who's been amazing in this second half, is pinged for holding the ball. Looked a bit harsh to me. He was the one that went in and got it, tackled straight away. It's going to go the way of Bewley. We'll get the Bewley bingo numbers before long with Tristan, but he plays on. Kicks long with the left boot inside 50 for Darley. Long towards a 2-on-1. Johnson found himself behind. Hind over the back, but Buckley cleans up for Sebastopol. That experience shining through from Jack Buckley. The handball came out. Long kick from defensively for Sebas. Was Little Hales pushed in the back? Umpire said yes. There'll be a free kick to Sebas on the back line of the centre square on that outer side of the ground.
Sebas, they continue to be brave, or they look to go into game-saving mode. The kick from Little Hales is poor and importantly it's touched as it's gone out of bounds, so no lasso free kick and not a turnover. We're going to ball in virtual ops from our broadcast position as we're approaching time on the final term. It's the Borough by 9 points on the Metro scoreboard. This game has had everything. It has been a blockbuster. It'll arguably already be game of the season, and we still have plenty to go here on 3BA's Footy's home grounds. Thanks to our great friends at D2E Gyms for this one. As we're back underway, Little Hales wins it down in the ruck. Tanner's been massive. He's kicked forward and gives this one off to Bewley. Over the top by hands to Hines. Goes to that laconic run as he goes inside and misses George with the hand pass. Henderson coming the other way, broke things up. Not out of trouble yet, Sebas. Cassidy on hands and knees, got it to Hutt. He was clever to get it to Banbury. Right foot around the body, Keel's got it away. And the contact was coming hard. He plays on quickly, dangerous. McDonald's now got a task. He's not getting away from the George tackle. A stoppage the result.
How exciting was that? Nick Hine running free. To his left, Brett Bewley. To his right, Lockie George. He had two options, just missed the handball. Would have been a certain goal if either of them had got it.
Ball in the middle of the ground. Darley won the hit out. Bewley row, tackled straight away. Keel went in for Sebastopol, kicked it along the ground. Lahure found himself in front for Darley. Handball missed the target. As a party went back in, as did Cadman. Lahure tried to pick it up, couldn't. Henderson picks up for Sebast. Tackled straight away, got a handball over his head. I don't know what sport Jaden Freeman plays outside of footy. I'm tipping it's probably basketball because he threw it straight to Toby Hutt.
Great jump shot.
And Toby Hutt to receive the free kick for Sebast. He goes long inside the 50 for Sebast, looking for Manari. Strong mark overhead. Umpire called play on. Manari went back ahead and picked it up, handballed over the top in the direction of a teammate, and McDonald wasn't able to pick up with a ball up inside 50. What a 30 seconds of play, Sam Young.
The game has had it all. We've had different codes enter it. Inside forward 50. Sebas had all the running in this final term. I've been told about 6 minutes to go of match time, so still plenty of time. And another stoppage inside forward 50. Darley can't leave their run too late. They certainly can't afford to concede another one here. Hutt wins it down. On the fly is Fletcher. Right foot kick around the body. We'll go right to the top of the square. It's going to be a tough one to mark. The ball goes to the ground. Umpire puts whistle to mouth and says free kick Darley. And away with Matthew Brett. He'll go quickly to the barometer and Cadman. Quiet this term, massive in the third. deep inside defensive 50. The Devils are experienced. They know not to panic, but they got to get a move on. Long high ball towards centre wing. One for Johnson to fly at the back, and he did well just to work Wilkinson underneath it. He did everything but take the mark. Ball hits the turf. Little Hale's been good this term in the ruck. As a party dealt with by Wilkinson, that handballed out. That's a lasso. Free kick will go the way of Darley. It'll go the way of Will Johnson. He'll go inside towards half forward to Myers on the lead, and Lockyer on his hammer. What a mouth-watering match-up right there. Myers v Lockyer. On this occasion, Lockyer doesn't have to spoil it out of bounds, boys.
Well, Darley have to try and win, so Billy Myers has said, right, I need to go to full forward. Lockyer goes with him. Their normal full forward, Will Johnson, is staying in around the stoppage here. So it's Johnson, it's Myers and Lockyer deep, everyone else up high.
Ball comes back into play. It's on the Darley 50-metre line. Desperate for a goal. The Devils, beautiful pick-up from Hummelhoff from Sebas. His handball missed the target. Whitewood's kick was smothered. Henderson grabs it for Sebas. His kick didn't go 15 metres. Medwall for Sebas. Handball to Edwards for Sebas. Over to Banbury. His kick went towards Minari. Heavy collision with Cadman. And the sporting man that he is, Minari, goes in and over to check on Cadman. Brad, that was a super heavy collision.
Yeah, just so many collisions. The umpire has stopped the game here because Cadman hasn't got up. Basically, two bodies collide. He came flying across the front. He looks to be holding his
right knee.
Yeah, what can you see down there, Tristan?
Right knee, but looks like he's also concussed or ribs. He looks in a very bad way. So I will say, both teams making some serious magnet manoeuvring down here. But Sebas calling for calm.
Cadman has literally collapsed coming off the ground. That's how spent
that was
he
a
was.
heavy collision.
Yeah, well, luckily it was only 5 metres from the boundary, so he's been able to crawl across.
Underway here in centre wing on the broadcast side. Tanner knocks it forward, only as far as Henderson gets a dinky left foot kick forward, 15 metres or so, coming through. Nicely was Toby up below his knees, off to Medwell, spearing pass. Minari couldn't hang on. Medwell the other way. He ricocheted off Jones. Right foot kicks on top of the square. It's still alive. Desperate Darley, Bewley getting back on hands and knees, shoves at the ball towards the line, and Brett. His kick around the body is going to be dangerous. Big ball to be won. Slap forward by Darley. Buckley coming the other way. Big tackle applied. Hine gets boots the ball. Kick forward by Sebas towards the boundary line and out of bounds. We all get a breather deep inside 50 for Sebas. 24 minutes gone. Final term here at the Marty Bush Reserve.
So exciting. Sebas just seemed to have the ascendancy. They seem to be able to win the ball at the stoppages. Nick Hine down now has found his feet, but he has been grimacing for about the last 20 minutes. They seem to have stopped the play now. Hine must be bleeding. Looks like he's walking off. He's in no rush. He knows the game has to stop. Hang on, he's going back.
Yeah, the umpire's letting him stay out there as the ball comes back into play in the forward pocket. Sebas into the ground. Lahure, was he gone without it? Holding the ball. Lahure tried to barge through the pack. Didn't get boot to ball, and there will be a resulting free kick to Jack Banbury from Sebastopol from about 20-25 metres out, directly in front. This will be the first nail in the coffin, I suspect, if Jack Banbury is able to get this through.
Well, Darley's scoring run really has dropped off, hasn't it? And it's gone back to Sebas just being able to win the ball at the source and then putting forward pressure on. That's the recipe that's worked.
So Jack Banbury from 20 metres out to give the Borough a 15-point break. Listen to the crowd. You heard the oohs, ahs and sides, and that means it's a behind. Very gettable one miss. The margin is 10 points in favour of Sebas on the Metro scoreboard. We've just ticked over 25 minutes.
We're told there's about 3 minutes of match time left, and the door's been left ajar. Myers, a fullback, goes a barrel right down the eye, diddle. Lockyer from 3 deep, just trying to fist it forward, but Darley with the numbers at ground level. Cadman looks up, he has no one inside 50, and he's caught. Ball comes alive, still Densley, he's right down from behind. Umpire puts a whistle away, Hyde gets boots the ball, and now he says he's gone. Who would know? But free kick goes away, Sebas. Third time for charter, maybe.
The key was that Sebas did have 2 spare players inside defensive 50, so every time the Darley players looked up, they had no one to kick to.
Well said by Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance as Medwell takes the mark, attacking side of centre wing and slows things down. When there's more goals required than minutes, that's when it gets to real danger. Not there yet as Medwell goes inside 50, Edwards at the back, and at the back it goes. White slightly overran it. So did Freeman. Ball still alive. Stoppage. Was it dragged in? No, says the umpire. Stoppage the result.
So Billy Myers was playing at full forward for Darley, and now he's left full forward, so it means that Luke Keel's standing there by himself. So Sebastopol now have two spare defenders behind the ball. There's only 2 minutes to go. I'm not sure how Darley are going to be able to score, even if they do win the ball.
Ball up inside the Sebastopol 50. Cadman sharked it for Darley. Kick long towards George. Was he held? Umpire said no. And strong mark taken from Callum Stewart. I think, no, it's Henderson for Sebastopol. He's had plenty of it this afternoon. Probably not been as effective by foot as what he has been in previous encounters, but certainly played his part. He ends up going short. Bad checking, as you heard from Sam Young and Hommelhoff. He's going to have a shot at goal from outside 50.
He won't have the wheels, so he gives the handball back to Henderson as they chew some seconds off the clock. Measured pass in the Hutt lead. Kick was poor. Lahure, such a good one-on-one defender, takes the mark inside defence, but they've got to go. It's go time for the Devils. Lahure looks to access the corridor. Right foot kick will be a dangerous one. Sebastopol with the spare. Hacked up the deck there by Little House. It's gone 15. No, the umpire won't play on regardless. Cabot just dumps it forward. Bouncing ball on its point. Wilkinson, tough as a cat's head. Put his head over it. Handball towards the line. Johnson keeps it alive. His handball was rushed forward in the Azapati direction. He hacks up the deck, and there'll be a lasso. Free kick all the way to Sebastopol.
Atmosphere down here is palpable, boys. Sebastopol on the verge of one of their biggest wins in club history.
Very true, Tristan. As Little Hales takes the free kick, goes backwards and finds Jack Buckley, who's been serviceable this afternoon down back, and he's aware of the time on the clock, just taking his time. And
1 minute to go.
He's going to kick it long up the line for Sebastopol, up towards centre wing. Pack will fly. Strong mark from Cadman, wasn't paid. Came to Medwell. Hasn't he been good in this last quarter for Sebastopol? Kicks the ball forward. Manari in a one-on-one. Overrun them, pretty big chase. Jones and Manari's got the 53. One bounce into an open goal. Shot missed to the right end.
He's pushing it back. Would you believe it?
Golly gosh.
50.
Yeah. And the Devils got to be careful they don't explode here.
The game is over, ladies and gentlemen.
Manari will go straight, will be walked to the line. He'll take his full 30. He'll do a routine. He can do a cartwheel. He can do whatever he wants now. Ice the game from the goal line for Sebastopol. Manari starts a very long approach to the goal line. And for one of the most famous wins in the club's history, he sends it through. Sebastopol moved to 14-12, 96 on the Metro scoreboard. And unfortunately, what's been such a blockbuster, we don't want to see any more push and shove here, take away from what's been a cracking afternoon at the Marty Bush Reserve.
Well, it's been a great game. It has been physical all day, and the Sebastopol, if you remember back to the first quarter, were incredibly physical early on. That is what has helped them in this last quarter as well. They've got back to that high-pressure game. Unfortunately, for Darley, they just haven't been able to hang on. But both teams have played some incredible football. I'm looking forward to the rematch of this later in the season because these two have been fantastic today.
29, nearly 30 minutes gone in the last quarter. And as you can tell from the crowd, it's the Borough. Sebastopol out to a 16-point lead. We take a bit from Darley to win from here. The time's against them. Play restarts in the middle ground. It's got very dark here. Free kick for a high tackle on Keel. Advantage paid. Little Hales kicks it to Edwards. He's been quiet today. He plays on quickly, goes into the pocket looking for a teammate, and Fletcher marks around 35, 40 metres from goal. And we'll line up Jacob Fletcher. There's the siren. A famous win for the Sebastopol Boroughs. At present, they lead by 16 points, but Jacob Fletcher will look to extend that margin to 22 points. He's lining up for goal around 35 metres from goal. In he comes after the siren. And as you can tell from the crowd, puts the icing on the cake. Sebastopol win.
15-12, 102 on the Metro scoreboard. They'll finish to defeat Darley 12-8, 80 here at the Marty Bush Reserve. And you're right, one of the most famous wins in the home and away season ever for Sebastopol here. knocking off the juggernaut, which is the Darley Devils. They led by 5 goals. Brad McGowan with 1 life insurance did the Borough. Darley came all the way back, got it out to a 16-point lead midway through the final term, and then Sebas, 6 goals unanswered to finish. So we get back on the way here with Collins in the ruck, winning it down to Lockett in the pocket. Left foot snap towards the top of the goal square. Gets the nice bounce. Did anyone touch it? I don't think they did. And Lockett has put it in front.
Bloods who's at centre half forward and kicks it inside 50 to a dangerous-ish spot in the left forward pocket. Scoble was able to get away. A brilliant handball and then a snap around the body.
Oh, wow.
Is a wonderful finish.
Yeah, Geordie Kite.
Brilliant goal from Geordie Kite.
He'll square the footy to Fulton, outstretched hands. How's together from Pittard. Took a bounce on the cricket pitch if you don't mind. Kicked it to a vacant goal square.
Roll.
Back-to-back goals for Redan. Lawson's been terrific. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chester McLean loves a goal. Ran to 50. Tumbling kick. Bouncing ball is favourable.